اخواننا كمان ضربوا شاهين ابو لاشين اللي على المعبر انضربوا كمان حوالي مش عارف 17 او 13 العدد. وهنا فاتحين مقابر جديده كمان عشان لا قدر الله صار في شهداء في شيء يكون، لانه فيش وسع جماعي بال10 وبال15 اللي بيستشهدوا.
Yeah, regarding on that matters, Indonesia Foreign Minister Retno Marsudi addressed the UN Security Council during an open debate in New York.
The minister urged immediate action to stop violence in Gaza and the West Bank, Palestine.
Minister Marsudi emphasized that while the UN Charter mandates the implementations of binding resolutions, the questions arises about the actual enforcement of the UNSC resolutions on Palestine.
She raised concerns about the lack of avenues for Palestine to voice complaints if the UNSC, which is entrusted with maintaining international peace, fails to come up with resolutions.
Mr. Marsudi called on the UNSC to promptly intervene and put an end to Israel's Gaza genocide. The minister expressed urgency and pointed to the escalating death toll and starvation in Palestine, urging the UNSC to act swiftly. She further encouraged all parties to respect international law, particularly in Gaza.
Yeah, additionally, Marsudi drew attention to the broader military aggression in the Middle East outside Gaza and the looming threat of war. She therefore advocated for a permanent ceasefire.
Ini adalah open debate Dewan Keamanan PBB ketiga mengenai Gaza dalam 3 bulan terakhir dan Indonesia hadir di ketiganya. Dan ini merupakan salah satu perwujudan konsistensi komitmen Indonesia untuk terus mendukung perjuangan Palestina. Di dalam pernyataan di Dewan Keamanan PBB tadi, saya ingatkan bahwa Dewan Keamanan PBB memiliki mandat untuk memelihara perdamaian dan keamanan internasional dan bukan untuk mentoleransi perang, apalagi genosida. Saya juga mengingatkan, Piagam PBB secara jelas mengatur bahwa resolusi Dewan Keamanan PBB bersifat mengikat dan harus dilaksanakan.
You can view the statement of Minister Marsudi in our social media, of course, at CTD News. Now, we want to sometimes take a look at the bright side in the darkest times. These are dark times indeed. However, we have to shed some light on the most vulnerable and most affected of this humanitarian crisis, and this is children. Hundreds of displaced Palestinian children in the southern Gaza city of Rafah have enjoyed a rare moment of respite on Monday when they welcomed a youth group to their shelter.
The NGO Shattuck Youth Forum sang and danced with children in the daylight before screening an animation film at the Al-Quds Open University.
Yeah, this visit was done to lift psychological pressure and stress, as well as alleviate fear and horror from the shelters. The group has also been moving across South Gaza to entertain young children with clown shows and circus. They started their effort on the second day of the war.
Shattuck is a youth-focused Palestinian NGO that are active in both the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. They hope they can positively impact children and families who live in shelters.
According to the Gaza Health Ministry, Israeli aggression has killed at least 25,295 Palestinians in Gaza, 70% of whom are women and children, while wounding more than 60,000. Meanwhile, the United Nations indicate that more than 500,000 people in Gaza, or a quarter of the population, are suffering from starvation.
هذه المبادرة تأتي للتخفيف من الضغوط النفسية والانفعالات النفسية وحالة الخوف والرعب اللي موجودة داخل مراكز الإيواء. أتت هذه المبادرة للتخفيف عنهم ولمشاركتهم ولنشر نوع من الفرح والسرور والسعادة على وجوه أطفالهم وذويهم من خلال تقديم بعض من العروض للأفلام والرسوم المتحركة الهادفة لنستفيد منها تحت عنوان التعاون والمشاركة والمحبة حتى نرسم على وجه أطفالنا الذين فقدوا مشاهدة التلفاز منذ أكثر من 100 يوم.
Now we're going home to Indonesia, where the state electricity company PLN has been preparing the 60-megawatt barge-mounted power plant in Plant Nusantara 1.
The first floating power plant aims to ensure enough electricity supply in Ambon.
Yeah, the ship began to operate in April 2022, but suffered some damages due to severe and extreme weather.
The state-owned electricity company PT PLN has been preparing the 60-megawatt barge-mounted power plant Nusantara 1 to bolster electricity supply in Ambon. The Office of Presidential Staff First Deputy Febri Calvin Tetelepa, along with PLN Indonesia Power President Director Ewin Nugraha Putra and other officials, have inspected firsthand the construction of Jetty Barge-Mounted Power Plant or BMPP in Waai Village, Salahutu District, Central Maluku Regency, Ambon on Monday. The deputy reviewed the engine construction as well as other technical maintenance on board the vessel. BMPP Nusantara 1 is the first floating power plant made in Indonesia with hopes to strengthen the reliability of electricity supply in Ambon and increase energy independence in eastern Indonesia. The vessel began to operate in April 2022. However, in May, it suffered electricity malfunction damages after being hit by high tide during extreme weather. It was then evacuated to the Tulehu port to avoid further damage. The BMPP Nusantara 1 is set to be returned to the Waai port to ensure enough electricity supply and economic growth in the area. Ambon has electricity demand up to 63.3 megawatts, and people receive their supply from Poka and HTV Kecil diesel-fueled power plants and Peaker gas-fired power plant with 30 megawatts capacity.
Kami dari kantor staf presiden bersama-sama dengan Direktur Utama Indonesia Power, Pak Edwin, kita datang monitor terakhir persiapan pergerakan BMPP ke Waai. Dari sisi teknis, kesiapan ini sudah sangat matang, sudah hampir 100%, tinggal secara alur laut maupun transportasi tugboat yang sementara menunggu. Dalam sisi ini kami harus berterima kasih bahwa teman-teman PLN, khususnya Indonesia Power, bekerja sangat maksimal, presisinya sangat baik, dan kita berharap bahwa dalam waktu dekat di akhir bulan Januari mestinya BMPP sudah bisa melistriki Ambon lagi kembali. Saya rasa ini tanggung jawab PLN yang luar biasa, dan sebagai masyarakat Maluku kita mesti berterima kasih.
Furthermore, the Nusantara barge-mounted power plant is expected to ensure enough electricity supply in the region. CTD contributor reporting from Ambon, Maluku.
Indonesian President Joko Widodo attended an handover ceremony earlier today, where Defense Minister Prabowo Subianto transferred a C-130 Jet G30 Super Hercules to Air Chief of Staff Marshal Fajar Prasetyo.
The aircraft is the fourth of 5 Super Hercules ordered by the Defense Ministry for the Air Force.
I'm standing in front of the C-130 J-30 Super Hercules aircraft along with 2 helicopters, the first one being 550 Fennec and the second one is 565 Panther. So on Wednesday morning, the official handover ceremony of this 1 aircraft and 2 helicopters took place in here at Halim, East Jakarta.
Indonesian Defense Minister Prabowo Subianto officially transferred a C-130 J-30 Super Hercules aircraft to Air Chief of Staff Marshal Fajar Prasetyo, with President Joko Widodo attending the ceremony with traditional procession. The tactical transport aircraft has a capacity for 120 personnel and can carry up to 20 tons. This Super Hercules is the fourth of 5 aircraft ordered by the Defense Ministry to reinforce the Air Force recently arriving in Indonesia.
Sangat bagus untuk negara sebesar Indonesia, negara kepulauan yang kadang-kadang airportnya hanya memiliki runway yang pendek. Nah, ini bisa didarati oleh Super Hercules ini dan bisa terbang kira-kira 11 jam non-stop.
Kalau 2 heli yang lainnya kan baru diperbaiki tuh Pak dari
Ya, bagus. Kira ya semuanya harus disiapkan karena untuk mendukung frigat kita, bisa turun di frigat kita. Saya kira heli-heli seperti Fennec itu sangat penting. Yeah.
In addition to the aircraft handover, President Widodo also oversaw the newly refurbished 550 Fennec and 5 65 Panther helicopters. The helicopters handover ceremony involves Minister Subianto, Army Chief of Staff General Maruli Simanjuntak, and Navy Chief of Staff Admiral Muhammad Ali. President Widodo was accompanied by Armed Forces Commander General Agus Subianto and House of Representatives Commission 1 Chair Mutia Hafid. Andira Putri and Reza Aninita for C Today.
Now let's have a quick look at updates regarding the upcoming Indonesian general elections. Let's take a look at Indonesia 4. Now on to our first story. In regards to the upcoming elections, President Joko Widodo has called on candidates not to use public facilities for their campaigns and always comply with the rules.
His remarks came earlier today during a press briefing in Jakarta, where the president was questioned about ministers running campaign.
Demokrasi, politik setiap orang, setiap menteri sama saja. Yang paling penting presiden itu boleh loh kampanye. Presiden itu boleh loh memihak. Boleh. Tapi yang paling penting waktu kampanye tidak boleh menggunakan fasilitas negara. Boleh, Pak. Kita ini kan pejabat publik sekaligus pejabat politik. Saat ini nggak boleh berpolitik, nggak boleh. Menteri juga boleh. Gimana? Itu saja. Yang mengatur itu hanya tidak boleh menggunakan fasilitas negara. Udah sih aja.
Kemudian kalau misalnya ada rekomendasi untuk mundur, Pak.
Gimana? Ya saya mau tanya.
Pak, kalau ada rekomendasi para menteri yang nanti berkampanye itu sebelumnya mundur, bagaimana Pak?
Apanya?
Kalau
ada banyak rekomendasi agar menteri-menteri yang berkampanye
semua itu pegangannya aturan. Aturan, kalau aturannya boleh ya silahkan. Kalau aturannya nggak boleh, tidak. Udah jelas itu.
Terima kasih Bapak.
Jangan di ini loh, apa? Presiden tidak boleh ini, boleh berkampanye itu boleh.
Terima kasih Bapak.
Ya juga boleh.
Terima kasih Pak. Terima kasih teman-teman.
Dilakukan atau tidak dilakukan itu terserah individu masing-masing.
Ya. Terima kasih Pak.
Now with the campaign season in full swing, all three presidential candidates recently made a visit to Yogyakarta to meet with Sultan Hamengkubuwono X.
Yeah, each candidate engaged in talks discussing various issues including leadership, governance, and technology.
Sultan Hamengkubuwono X has been a prominent figure in the 2024 presidential election, with all candidates making a visit to meet the King of Yogyakarta. Anies Baswedan met on Wednesday with the Sultan at the governor's office in the Kepatihan Danurejan complex. The discussions focus on leadership and civility. Anies also gained insight into how attitudes and policies play a pivotal role in accommodating public interest.
Jadi tadi ngobrolnya agak panjang, mendengar banyak hal yang tadi dibahas sama-sama. Dan kami sendiri merasakan betul Jogja ini sebagai sebuah melting pot di mana menjaga kebinekaan menjadi satu kesatuan dan satu menghargai semua. Itu juga pesan yang disampaikan oleh Nasrul Dalem.
Ganjar Pranowo was the first presidential candidate to meet with the Sultan, conducting a closed-door meeting after campaigning in various locations. Ganjar regarded Sultan Hamengkubuwono X as a national elder, seeking his blessings during the 2 hours meeting at the Kepatihan Gubernatorial Office.
Siapa aja Pak Ganjar?
Ya, tentang perkembangan bangsa negara. Saya akan sekolah di sini, lama di sini. Beliau sesepuh ya, banyak nasihat lah. situasi kondisi hari ini ya perlu kita jaga kondusivitas. Intinya itu aja.
Minta doa restu juga nggak Pak Ganjar?
Selalu kita ketemu dengan sesepuh pasti minta doa restu.
Untuk pencalonan ini?
Ya.
Untuk pencalonan 2024.
Terus pokoknya doa restu untuk keselamatan apapun. Ya pencalonan, ya bangsa ini, ya semuanya.
In a separate meeting, Prabowo Subianto and his running mate Gibran Rakabuming Raka meet with the Sultan on Monday, January the 22nd. The meeting held at Governor's Office covered various issues including technology.
Terima kasih dapat diterima oleh yang masuk dalam keadaan yang baik. Kami mohon waktu dan tadi hanya sowan dia melaporkan yang minta izin masuk ke daerah lah. Jadi dapat juga tadi pandangan-pandangan beliau tentang beberapa masalah, terutama juga masalah masa depan, masalah teknologi dan sebagainya. Beliau kasih wejangan-wejangan yang kami terima bisa minta pandangan-pandangan beliau tentang beberapa hal.
Sultan Hamengkubuwono X holds the position of king in the Yogyakarta Sultanate, a Javanese monarchy that has been a state since 1755 in the central part of Indonesia's Java Island.
And we're going for our first quick break in this hour, but when we come back, we'll have the latest from Southeast Asia and around the world.
That's right, and later during the hour, I'll bring you the latest from the world of business.
Yeah, stay with us right here on the 3-Hour News Show only on See Today.
Ke Binjai mau migrasi.
Cakep.
Anjay, aku depotsi.
Ya, aku cuma mau bilang hari ini kamu tuh cantik loh.
Aduh ya Allah.
Oke lah kalau penampilan dia nggak sebaik itu, nggak sebagus itu, nggak seganteng itu, tapi itu hatinya dia sebaik itu dan tidak ada orang yang pernah gue temuin hatinya sebaik Mas.
Pemain.
Good morning, Indonesia, Southeast Asia, and the world. Rise and shine, everyone. A brand new start to a brand new month and a brand new week. Here at
Good morning. Good morning. It's a deja vu. Good.
Deja vu. It's like with sports, entertainment as well.
It is time for See Today with Business with me, Caroline. All right, guys. See Indonesia, see the world, see today.
Bahkan brosurnya aja Pak, saya udah pelan-pelanin jalan. Ditegur, Mas cepetan gitu. Ini bisa baca perilaku kamu sekalian. Kita mau baca tarot nggak? Iya.
Oh iya, Sa.
Mana tangan kamu?
Keren banget. Mau, Om.
Group of volunteers operating in south of the city has united to assist displaced children in a refugee camp in Rafah in overcoming the trauma of war. The volunteers come from diverse professional backgrounds and share expertise in working with young people.
Asian flavors is gaining more popularity around the world. Personally love this, not just because it is familiar for our palate, but because the airiness, the textures of the youtiao, it's completely different when baguette. So with those appetite and with those pleasure-driven people, Menteng is a very special place for restaurant.
Welcome back to Spotlight, ladies and gentlemen, where we bring you guys some of the sports that you guys can go play here in Indonesia.
Handball karena masih baru, tadi kita harus bisa juga mempopulerkan ini kepada masyarakat sampai ke bawah.
We do it from scratch at the time because we don't know ice hockey, how to play, how to develop, how to manage this sport.
Yeah, you don't have to be good with your foot. You can just dribble the ball and just throw it to the full ball.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Rakyat harus dilibatkan, rakyat tidak boleh ditinggal karena pemilik negeri ini rakyat. Pemerintah hanyalah pelaksana dari pemilik negeri ini.
Tingkatkan produktivitas pertanian dan sektor maritim, tapi wajib menjaga keseimbangan alam.
kami berjanji bahwa kami akan kembalikan secara bertahap hak rakyat dan untuk ibu-ibu dan para anak cucu.
Welcome back to the Spirit News Show with us on See Today. Now it's time to take a look at regional news. Vietnam's Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh met with his Romanian counterpart Marcel Ciolacu in Bucharest, Romania earlier on Monday.
Yeah, the meeting, which also marked the 75th anniversaries of Romania-Vietnam bilateral relations, saw both leaders agree to promote and strengthen bilateral cooperation.
Following PM Ching's visit to Hungary after attending the 54th World Economic Forum, the Prime Minister paid an official visit to Romania, concluding his working trip to Europe. During his visit to Romania to commemorate the 75th anniversary of bilateral relations between the two countries, PM Ching met with his Romanian counterpart, Prime Minister Marcel Ciolacu. During their meeting, the two leaders agreed to strengthen cooperation in all fields, especially on trade in energy, agriculture, and pharmaceuticals. Moreover, PM Ching, who previously studied in Romania, also emphasized education and training, especially cooperation between research and universities in engineering, technology, agriculture, and healthcare. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Ciolacu, for his part, said that his country is ready to facilitate infrastructure to promote trade cooperation between the two countries. Prime Minister Ciolacu said that he aims to double trade exchange between the two countries to €1 billion. Prime Minister Ciolacu also suggested that Romania could be a trade hub for Vietnamese products. Previously, during the Romanian presidency of the European Council, Romania played an active role in the signing of the EU-Vietnam Free Trade Agreement and was the first EU country to approve the EU-Vietnam Investment Protection Agreement. Prime Minister Ching suggested to his Romanian counterpart to support Vietnam's bid to be removed from the European Commission's yellow card list for Vietnamese seafood exports. Finally, during the meeting, the two leaders also discussed various regional and international issues, including the South China Sea, and reaffirmed their commitment to peaceful resolution on dispute and agreed to use ASEAN and the EU to jointly address regional and global challenges.
Yeah, to another story, India is willing to end the free border movement, much to the objections of the Naga population in Myanmar.
The Naga ethnic group is a mixed ethnicity living along the Myanmar-India border, specifically in the Naga self-administered zone in the Sagaing region.
India's Home Minister Amit Shah on January the 20th committed to ending the free movement regime, or FMR, with Myanmar's border, referring to the influx of Myanmar army soldiers into India and the rise of illegal migrants and crime. The free movement regime is a mutual agreement between India and Myanmar that allows residents on either side of the border to visit each other's territory up to the distance of 16 kilometers without a visa.
Previously, this policy was implemented due to the strong ethnic and family ties across the border, where FMR provided a necessary space for cultural exchange. This policy has resulted in new issues, such as an increase in illegal immigrants leading to criminal activities, also drug smuggling, gold smuggling, and trafficking of exotic animals.
Yeah, on the other hand, the Naga ethnic group living in Sagaing, Myanmar region expresses disagreement with the idea proposed by Amit Shah. The Naga people emphasize that the FMR at its core was meant to address the currently and complications of the map-making line drawn by the British during the colonial era without the consent of locals.
The decision from the Myanmar government is yet to be verified. India's Commissioner for Myanmar is still preparing to send a letter to the central government of Myanmar to consider these programs. And now we have a pretty special story. So yesterday, Adit and I and the crew and family of See Today had a wondrous opportunity to welcome Tanzanian Foreign Minister January Yusuf Makamba to our newsroom.
Yeah, the minister is currently in Indonesia, preparing for the arrival of Tanzanian President Samia Suluhu Hassan on her first official visit from January the 25th to the 26th.
Minister January Makamba was featured on the 3-Hour News Show yesterday, where he discussed the current state of diplomatic ties between Tanzania and Indonesia. The two nations enjoy strong economic relations, with trade reaching up to $339.5 million in 2022. Indonesia's main products exported to the African country include palm oil, paper, and textile material.
Yeah, both countries are now gearing up to discuss several agreements during President Samia's visit, along with over 100 businesses delegates participating in Tanzania-Indonesia Business Forum. President Samia's visit follows a visit by Indonesian President Joko Widodo to Dar es Salaam last year. The trip marked the establishment of the diplomatic ties since the setup of representation in the city in 1964. Tanzania had also established an embassy in Jakarta in June last year.
Of that visit, the present program will entail the official reception at the palace, also the official talks between the two leaders and their delegations, and also there will be signing of 7 agreements covering different areas of cooperation. We are at the moment negotiating agreement on a preferential free trade area. We're also negotiating a bilateral investment treaty to protect investments in each countries. We are negotiating, and we will sign an agreement on the blue economy. We'll sign an agreement on diplomatic cooperation, diplomatic schools cooperation, agreements on agriculture, agreements on energy sector. So there are many areas that we're working together.
Saidin, what was your impression of the minister yesterday? You're smiling. I like that.
I mean, like, the most important thing that we can highlight it is actually it's a bilateral relation between both of countries, and it's not only talking about G2G, but also people-to-people contact. That was my question actually for the minister, but actually he explained that the people-to-people contact plays a significant role not only this year, but previous years before. And I think that this is something very good to showing that the global soft power that Indonesia right now is really want to showing that it's not only from the West, but also Asia and Africa could also play a significant role in geopolitics.
I mean, for me personally, one of the things that I want to highlight, something really rare. Is
What is that, Kai?
the diplomatic curriculum.
It is.
So it was also mentioned in the minister's short statement before that there is going to be a collaboration. One of them is an exchange.
Yeah.
Because Tanzania would like to learn and develop a curriculum based on the knowledge that Indonesia's diplomacies or diplomatic efforts have gained in the last couple of decades. We've been actively engaging with the international community, and I think the most humbling realization for me was the fact that, you know what, there are countries in the global south really appreciating our efforts to include the global south in the global community, because it's much bigger than ASEAN. ASEAN, okay, it's a very well-known, big power in the world, and it's rising very quickly. We know that, and we're proud to be a part of that. But there are countries in the G20 that still need that push. And for me to really hear from somebody who's so willing to learn and exchange experience from Indonesia, usually for us, it's always the other way around, right? We want to learn from somebody. And, sometimes when somebody is learning from you, when you're trying to share whatever knowledge you've gained, you actually gain more knowledge.
It is.
Because it's never a one-way communication.
Because the power of sharing is true. I mean, beside that, the most important thing is Pertamina is actually playing investment in the gas and oil in Manzamba Bay, if I'm not mistaken. And actually, it's happened like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So I just noticed this year, but actually we are like investing abroad. It's a big number. I mean, like in Tanzania, it's a country in Africa. I mean, like Asia and Africa, I think, should be collaborated more.
Yeah, that's
Not
why we already have
gas and
a
oil.
specific Indonesia-Africa business forum
It is.
that's been established in the last couple of years, and we, of course, will share more of that.
Yes.
And hopefully, His Excellency, the Ambassador of Tanzania to Indonesia, can also come after the president's,
Yeah.
visit to share some insights on what has been achieved in this visit that is happening tomorrow. So we're looking forward to that.
Hope it.
Let's move on to the next story. Dozens of women stormed the PT Chandra Asri Pacific Office paper factory in Gunung Sugi, Sub-District Cilegon, Banten on Wednesday morning.
Yeah, they protest the strong odor emanating from a gas leak that has been polluting the air for the past couple of days.
These women were protesting while throwing mineral water bottle at the factory as they felt upset after entering with stench from the gas leak, causing them to experience nausea and headache.
Ke Gunung Sugi baru kali ini.
Kenapa, Bu?
Ada terjadinya ledakan kimia di Chandra Asri. Ya sosialisasi masuk ke masyarakatnya, ada dispensasi ke masyarakatnya. Ya pokoknya terbaik lah buat masyarakat yang terdekat di sini seperti apa. Dari pihak Chandra Asri kita mohonkan dari masyarakat seperti itu. Semua pihak Gunung Sugi atau di wilayah sekitarnya. Kerja juga bukan orang sini, bukan masyarakat sini. Hanya sekian persen saja dari pihak Gunung Sugi. Tolong itu dari pihak Chandra Asri.
The alleged gas leak has caused around 360 locals to suffer from nausea and vomiting, with 3 of them have to receive intensive medical care at the hospital. In the meantime, following the incident, PT Chandra Asri management decided to suspend the operational activities while waiting on the lab result regarding the gas leak. On Monday, a team from Environment and Forestry Ministry inspected the incident site to investigate alleged gas leaking from the factory's chimney pipe.
Tadi kita memverifikasi bagaimana perusahaan melakukan penanggulangan terkait dengan kebocoran tersebut seperti itu. Dan di lapangan kita melihat sudah dilakukan perbaikan ya dan penutupan dari pipa yang bocor tersebut.
Meanwhile, Cilegon and Banten have examined 17 witnesses, with 10 of them were locals, while the other 7 were factory workers. See Today contributor reporting from Banten.
And we're going for another break.
Yeah, after the break, Maria will deliver some economic and business updates. Maria, what do you have for us?
Yes, after the break, we're going to talk about the empowerment program for MSMEs in East Nusa Tenggara.
That's
this
cool.
program recently launched by the Minister of Creative Economy, Sandiaga Uno. So we're going to check it out. What are the details? After the break, we're going to take a look at that, and we're going to see some other business updates as well. Stay here on the On Triari Show on See Today.
Rakyat harus dilibatkan, rakyat tidak boleh ditinggal karena pemilik negeri ini rakyat. Pemerintah hanyalah pelaksana dari pemilik negeri ini.
Tingkatkan produktivitas pertanian dan sektor maritim, tapi wajib menjaga keseimbangan alam.
Kami berjanji bahwa kami akan kembalikan secara bertahap hak rakyat dan untuk ibu-ibu dan para anak cucu.
Hey there, buddies! Welcome back to another episode of Buddy Talk.
Enggak, dia hostnya, kita co-hostnya.
It's better to be overdressed than underdressed. That's actually a good hack, because I used to live in Canada. That was our trick.
Point to Manado on this map. I'm horrible, I told you I wasn't bad.
Dikira dengan banyaknya informasi itu akan jadi makin gampang gitu nulisnya.
Iya.
Tapi ternyata susah banget.
Bahkan brosurnya aja Pak, saya udah pelan-pelanin jalan. Ditegur, Mas cepetan gitu. Dia bisa baca perilaku kamu. Sekalian kita mau baca tarot nggak? Iya.
Oh iya, Sar.
Sama mana tangan kamu?
Keren banget. Mau, Om.
Welcome back to Spotlight, ladies and gentlemen, where we bring you guys some of the sports that you guys can go play here in Indonesia.
Handball karena masih baru, tadi kita harus bisa juga mempopulerkan ini kepada masyarakat sampai ke bawah.
We do it from scratch at the time because we don't know ice hockey, how to play, how to develop, how to manage this sport.
You don't have to be good with your foot. You can just dribble the ball and just throw it to the full ball.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
The beauty and the excitement of being there, indescribable to lose such an iconic, historical, and magnificent.
Let's take a look around, shall we?
Come on in. We found them.
Where people come and go. A cup of tea, a perfect way to end your day. Come see the beauty, only on See Indonesia.
Welcome back to Cherry Show on See Today. It's time for some business updates with me, Maria Harvanti. The Indonesian Ministry of Investments announced on Wednesday that the country has managed to attract up to 1,419 trillion rupiah worth of investments in 2023. This has exceeded both the President's investment target and the Investment Ministry's target for the year.
Investment in Indonesia saw a substantial increase in 2023, signaling the positive performance of Indonesia's economy for the year. Last year, Indonesia gained 1,419 trillion rupiah worth of investment for the whole year. This exceeded President Joko Widodo's target of 1,400 trillion rupiah and also exceeded the Investment Ministry's target. In fact, investment in Indonesia last year was 7.5% higher than it was in 2022.
Nah, alhamdulillah Januari sampai Desember sebesar 1.418,9 triliun, tumbuh 17,5%. Capaian kita 101,3% dari target 1.400 triliun. Alhamdulillah. Total penyerapan tenaga kerja dari investasi 1.418 triliun sebesar 1.823.543 orang. Ini total lapangan pekerjaan. Ini lapangan pekerjaan langsung, investasi ini di luar sektor hulu migas, di luar sektor keuangan, dan di luar UMKM.
Yeah. The Indonesian government has been pushing the development of its downstreaming industry in a bid to increase the value of its natural resources. And in 2023, investment into downstreaming industry reached 375.4 trillion rupiah, marking a substantial 26.5% of the total investment incurred over the year. Most of the investment went into mineral smelters, specifically nickel smelters, which attracted up to 136.6 trillion rupiah. This is an important part of Indonesia's push to become a global leader in electric vehicle battery production. Despite recent controversies surrounding EVs in Indonesia, which do not use nickel-based batteries, Minister of Investment Bahlil Lahadalia argued that nickel-based EV batteries are still a major part of the industry.
Apakah benar nikel ini akan ditinggalkan? Ini adalah kebohongan publik. Kenapa saya katakan demikian? Karena LFP itu hanya dipakai oleh Tesla kepada mobilnya yang standar. Karena kualitas jarak tempuhnya itu masih lebih bagus ke nikel.
Furthermore, in 2023, up to 9.7 trillion rupiah was invested in Indonesia's electric vehicle ecosystem.
Kita semua.
Moving on to another story, it's about the Tourism and Creative Economy Minister Sandiaga Uno that recently launched an empowerment program for MSMEs in East Nusa Tenggara called TikTok Jali Nusantara program. This initiative was part of a joint effort with TikTok Indonesia, Telkom, Center for Women's Resources and Development, and also Social Business Platform. Minister Uno called on TikTok Indonesia to boost network coverage for MSMEs in rural areas during the launching ceremony that took place on Tuesday in Labuan Bajo, East Nusa Tenggara. The newly launched program includes digital skill courses set to take place across 19 areas, including 10 centers of creative industries such as Samosir, Pekanbaru, Tangerang, Semarang, Yogyakarta, Malang, Banyuwangi, Balikpapan, Labuan Bajo, and also Jayapura.
64 juta UMKM ini tersebar di seluruh wilayah Nusantara. 60% ada di Pulau Jawa, tapi selebihnya ada di seluruh pelosok Nusantara. Mereka yang menciptakan 97% lapangan kerja, dan semuanya harus masuk ke dalam target dari 30 juta UMKM yang terdigitalisasi dalam program Bangga Buatan Indonesia bersama TikTok yang baru saja bertransformasi juga menjadi bagian daripada TikTok Tokopedia. Ini kita harapkan kita cepat transformasi ini sehingga target 50% dari UMKM kita masuk ke dalam ekonomi digital di dalam pendekatan transformasi digitalisasi kita di segala sisi, terutama di bidang ekonomi.
Still from Indonesia, the fintech unicorn Sendit will reportedly lay off workers for long-term sustainability. Since 2021, Sendit has been letting go of workers, and the beginning of 2024 is no different. Some reports indicate that 200 Sendit workers will be laid off this month. However, it is reported that layoff would not affect Sendit services for their fintech clients. Sendit is a financial technology company in Indonesia and the Philippines. It's one of the Indonesia's unicorns and is a startup that has reached over $1 billion in valuation. Other startups that are in midst of laying off employees in Indonesia, including Flip and Lazada. From financial services, now we're going to talk about the Riot Games that have announced it's eliminating 11% of its workforce on Monday. Tencent Holdings' own Riot Games plans to lay off 530 employees, or about 11% of its staff globally, on Monday. This plan was revealed in a blog, which includes an employee letter from its CEO, Dylan Jadeja. This Los Angeles-based company, famous for its League of Legends title, says that teams outside of core development will see the largest impact from layoffs. Digital games publishers are struggling to grow as audiences hold off on buying expensive titles or stick with fewer games amid high inflation. Earlier last year, Electronic Arts Incorporated opened a new tab by cutting 6% of staff and giving up some office space. Now we're flying to the USA, where Texas oil giant ExxonMobil filed a lawsuit against its own investors on January 22nd in an attempt to block proposals that the company describes as an extreme agenda from its annual shareholder meeting. This lawsuit seeks to stop the proposals led by U.S. climate activist investor Arjuna Capital and also Dutch shareholder activist group called Follow This to accelerate ExxonMobil's reduction of greenhouse gas emissions.
In the lawsuit filed by ExxonMobil, the oil giant is seeking a declaratory judgment from a U.S. District Court judge in Fort Worth, Texas, to exclude proposals from its climate activist investors. Exxon argued that those shareholder proposals, Follow This and Arjuna Capital, have become shareholders to solely campaign for a calculated change that diminish Exxon's existing business. The company alleged that the proposal violates Securities Exchange Commission or SEC investor petition rules, and is asking the court to make a decision by March 19 before its annual meeting on May 29. Previously, Follow This and Arjuna Capital submitted a climate resolution in December 2023, calling on Exxon to include Scope 3 emissions in its emission reduction plans. In 2023, ExxonMobil announced plans to achieve net zero emissions by 2050 by reducing its greenhouse gas emissions from its own operations or through Scope 2 and 3 emissions. Meanwhile, the proposal, which includes Scope 3 emissions, calls for the company to also reduce emissions that are indirectly emitted from its operations. Exxon's lawsuit comes after the SEC relaxed its policy on shareholder proposals, leading to a surge in investor proposals and shareholder activism in the U.S. Exxon also argued that a ruling in favor of Exxon would tighten the SEC's interpretation of shareholder proposals. The decision, which is expected to be made on March 19, will be closely watched by lawmakers and oil companies alike, who have seen a surge in investor climate activism calling for a greater emissions reduction.
And that story has concluded the economics and business updates for this hour. When we return, Adit will bring you the latest from the world of sports.
Asian flavors is gaining more popularity around the world in the last decade. Personally love this, not just because it is familiar for our palate, but because the airiness, the textures of the youtiao, it's completely different than baguette. So with those appetites and with those pleasure-driven people, Menteng is a very...
Welcome back to Spotlight, ladies and gentlemen, where we bring you guys some of the sports that you guys can go play here in Indonesia.
Handball karena masih baru, tadi kita harus bisa juga mempopulerkan ini kepada masyarakat sampai ke bawah.
We do it from scratch at the time because we don't know ice hockey, how to play, how to develop, how to manage this sport.
You don't have to be good with your foot. You can just dribble the ball and just throw it to the full ball.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
The beauty and the excitement of being there.
Indescribable through such an iconic, historical, and magnificent.
Let's take a look around, shall we? Come on in. We found them.
Where people come and go. A cup of tea, a perfect way to end your day. Come see the beauty, only on See Indonesia.
Rakyat harus dilibatkan, rakyat tidak boleh ditinggal karena pemilik negeri ini rakyat. Pemerintah hanyalah pelaksana dari pemilik negeri ini.
Tingkatkan produktivitas pertanian dan sektor maritim, tapi wajib menjaga keseimbangan alam.
Kami berjanji bahwa kami akan kembalikan secara bertahap hak rakyat dan untuk ibu-ibu dan para anak cucu.
Bahkan brosurnya aja Pak, saya udah pelan-pelanin jalan. Ditegur, Mas cepetan gitu. Dia bisa baca perilaku kamu. Sekalian kita mau baca tarot nggak? Iya.
Oh iya, Sir.
Sama mana tangan kamu?
Keren banget, mau Om.
Hey there, buddies! Welcome back to another episode of Buddy Talk.
Enggak, dia hostnya, kita co-hostnya.
It's better to be overdressed than underdressed. That's actually a good hack, because I used to live in Canada. That was our trick.
Point to Manado on this map. I'm horrible. I told you I'm bad.
Dikira dengan banyaknya informasi itu kan jadi makin gampang gitu nulis.
Iya.
Tapi ternyata susah banget.
Hi, welcome back to the 3-Hour News Show. Let's kick some news from the world of sport. Palestine secured their inaugural spot in the AFC Asian Cup knockout stage after beating Hong Kong with a convincing 3-0 victory at the Abdullah bin Khalifa Stadium on Tuesday. Meanwhile, the UAE advanced to the round of 16 as a Group C runners-up despite losing 2-1 to Iran. Odai Daba scored a brace with Zaid Kunbar, also finding the net as Palestine advanced to the knockout stage despite finishing third in the Group C. The victory also marked their first ever appearance in the AFC Asian Cup history. Iran emerged at the top of the Group C after defeating UAE. Mehdi Taremi's double on Tuesday sealed the victory for Iran at the Education City Stadium. Despite the defeat, the UAE joined their opponents in the round of 16, edging out Palestine on goal difference with both in 4 points. Meanwhile, in the UAE-Iran match, Al Ghazzani made up for his earlier missed penalty kick with a decisive goal in the added time of the second half. He broke free down the left, cut inside on his right foot, and found the far corner with his finish to halve the deficit. Yeah, meanwhile, Australia and Uzbekistan are secure their spot in the round of 16 following a 1-1 tie in the Janoub Stadium in the Kalor, Qatar. Syria also advanced to this round of 16 after defeating Iran 1-0.
Omar Kurbin came off the bench to strike the winning goal as Syria defeated India 1-0 in Doha on Tuesday to clinch the country's first ever spot in the knockout stage of the AFC Asian Cup. Kurbin struck in the 75th minute to break a scoreless draw as the Raushas Al Bayt Stadium erupted. Syria finished third in Group B of 4 points to confirm their spot in round of 16 as one of the 4 best third-place finishers. Meanwhile, in another Group B match, Australia played out a 1-1 draw with Uzbekistan to win Group B at the AFC Asian Cup on Tuesday in Doha. A first-half penalty by the Socceroos' Martin Boyle was cancelled out by a late header from Uzbekistan's Azizbek Turgenbov, as the two sides shared the points. Australia finished top of Group B with 7 points, while Uzbekistan clinched second on 5. The result means that Australia will face one of the third-placed finishers in the round of 16, while Uzbekistan are due to meet the runners-up in Group F when the knockout rounds begin on Sunday.
If we talk about sport language, soccer is one of the most favorite sport in the world, including, I think, you and us, Indonesian. And as we know that in the AFC Asian Cup, Indonesia also plays a significant role, as we know that we won yesterday against Vietnam, and we will face Japan in the near future. So as I mentioned, Indonesia are set to face Japan in their ultimate Group D encounter, fully aware that a victory could potentially secure them a place in the knockout stages of the Asian Cup. Like I delivered before, Indonesia will take on Japan in their final Group D match, knowing a win could give them a spot in the knockout stages of the Asian Cup. Shin Tae-yong's team are now in verge of qualification after 1-0 win against Vietnam in the previous match. 4-time champions Japan suffered a setback when they lost 2-1 to Iraq and now need to win to guarantee their spot in the next stage. The match is scheduled today for 6:30 p.m. Jakarta time. Yeah, even though that Japan is forever favorite for the world to win the games and the match, but we do not lose our hope that Indonesia will beat Japan in the next phases of the game today. Don't forget to watch about this. So we move to badminton when Indonesian mixed double team Rinov Rivaldi and Pita Haningtyas Mentari successfully advanced to the round of 16 at the Indonesian Masters 2024 after defeating Mats Vestergaard and Christian Bosch of Denmark 23-21, 24-22. However, another Indonesian mixed double pair, Dejan Ferdiansyah and Glora Emmanuel Wijaya, lost against their Chinese opponents. Yeah, the match between Indonesian pair Rivaldi Mentari and Vestergaard Bosch of Denmark took part at the Gelora Bung Karno Stadium, Jakarta earlier today. The Indonesian beat their opponents in a straight set, 23-21, 24-22, in only 46 minutes. So they win or lose the pair to advance to the round of 16, where they will face Jiang Senbang and Wei Yashen of China. However, another Indonesian pair, Dejan Ferdiansyah and Gloria Emmanuel Wijaya, were eliminated after losing 21-14, 21-13 to Zhang Siwei and Huang Yachoi of China. Four Indonesian athletes compete in the Thai International Para Athletics competition at the 80th birthday stadium in Nakhon Ratchasima. They managed to secure 2 gold and 2 silver medals in the tournament. Indonesian para-athlete Alfian Nomleni secured gold in the men's 400 meters T20 class at the clocked and the fastest finish at the 49.97 seconds. Suparniyati secured a second gold for Indonesia when she won the women's shot put categories. Meanwhile, Jainal Arifin won silver in the men's 100 meters T54 wheelchair race. He finished in the second place with 14.48 seconds. The gold went to Thai athlete Atiwat Paengnuea with 13.52 seconds. Nanda May Marover Soliha won another silver for Indonesia, and this time in the women's 100 meters T47-39 category with the clocking in the 13.32 seconds. Indonesia medal tally in the competition is a good start that may pave the way for success in the 2024 Paris Paralympics. That's a very good news for the world of sport, and we hope that Indonesian athletes will waving one more time Indonesian flags in international fora. And that's wrap for sport for this hour. But when we return, we'll have more information. So keep here on the 3-hour news show, only on See Today.
Rakyat harus dilibatkan, rakyat tidak boleh ditinggal karena pemilik negeri ini rakyat. Pemerintah hanyalah pelaksana dari pemilik negeri ini.
Tingkatkan produktivitas pertanian dan sektor maritim, tapi wajib menjaga keseimbangan alam.
Kami berjanji bahwa kami akan kembalikan secara bertahap hak rakyat dan untuk ibu-ibu dan para anak cucu.
Good morning, Indonesia, Southeast Asia, and the world. Rise and shine, everyone. A brand new start to a brand new month and a brand new week. Here at
Good morning. Good morning. It's a deja vu. Good.
It's like deja vu. It's like with sports, entertainment as well.
It is time for See Today with Business with me, Caroline. All right, guys. See Indonesia, see the world, see today.
Group of volunteers operating in the south of the city has united to assist displaced children in a refugee camp in Rafah in overcoming the trauma of war. The volunteers come from diverse professional backgrounds and share expertise in working with young people.
Asian flavors is gaining more popularity around the world in the last decade. Personally love this, not just because it is familiar for our palate, but because the airiness, the textures of the youtiao, it's completely different than baguette. So with those appetites and with those pleasure-driven people, Menteng is a very special place for restaurant.
Bahkan brosurnya aja Pak, saya udah pelan-pelanin jalan. Ditegur, Mas cepetan gitu. Dia bisa baca perilaku kamu. Sekalian kita mau baca tarot nggak? Iya.
Oh iya, Sa.
Sama mana tangan kamu?
Keren banget. Mau, Om.
Welcome back to Spotlight, ladies and gentlemen, where we bring you guys some of the sports that you guys can go play here in Indonesia.
Handball karena masih baru, tadi kita harus bisa juga mempopulerkan ini kepada masyarakat sampai ke bawah.
We do it from scratch at the time because we don't know ice hockey, how to play, how to develop, how to manage this sport.
You don't have to be good with your foot. You can just dribble the ball and just throw it to the full ball.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh, I love this atmosphere.
Heading to Gili Trawangan.
And this special episode, I already prepared myself for an adventure on the island, which in the top of the list to visit. And this is the travel note because life is dope.
Welcome to our viewers in Indonesia and across the world. Thank you for joining us on the 3-Hour News Show on C Today. We have the next 2 hours now. We'll continue to bring you the latest from Indonesia, Southeast Asia, and around the world. We'll have a live session with our colleagues at VOA in regards to the poll stations and pollings that were held by the American citizens in the U.S. And we would like to discuss the results. Now, I'm your host for today, Kai Surya, and with me are Aditya Warman and Maria Harfanti.
Hello, how are you guys?
Hi, very good. Second
good?
hour already.
Good. Actually, it's not only Indonesia who entering the political year, but also the United States.
And
I mean,
a lot of
it's
other
a very
countries.
yes,
Yep.
it's a very huge number of a democracy country in the world
Yep.
that held the elections, and I think Indonesia, United States,
Yep.
India,
Yeah.
Russia, and Nigeria could place on the international eye.
Yep.
All right, but before we're talking about that, my name is Aditya Warman. Hi, welcome. Welcome again to 3-Hour News Show. Make sure you also follow us on X, Instagram, and YouTube at C Today News for the latest updates. And with us today, the only one, Maria Harfanti, for the latest from the world of business.
Yes, thank you, Adit. I am Maria Harfanti. We'll take a look at market and business updates from the country, the region, and elsewhere around the world. But first, let's take a look at what made it top stories for today.
From Indonesia, Indonesian President Joko Widodo said that political figures and public officials are allowed to hold campaigns so long as they don't use state facilities and abide by the rules.
In business, Indonesian Tourism and Creative Economy Minister Sandiaga Uno recently launched the empowerment program for MSMEs in East Nusa Tenggara called TikTok Jalin Nusantara Program.
In C Today Sport, Indonesia will face Japan in decisive third match of Group D at the 2023 Asian Cup later this evening.
And later in our signature segment, See the Stories. We'll talk about men's fashion trends in 2024 with fashion scholar Dino Augusto. Stay tuned for that. By the way, that game, Indonesia versus Japan, starts 6:30.
6:30.
Jakarta time.
Jakarta time.
Which means in just half an hour. So we are going to have some live sessions there. But first and foremost, let's take you to the United States. Former U.S. President Donald Trump easily won the New Hampshire primary on Tuesday, seizing command of the race for the Republican nomination and making a November rematch against President Joe Biden all the more inevitable.
Yeah, Trump secured a decisive victory in the primary on Tuesday, and the win solidified his control of the Republican nomination race and intensifies the sense of an impending November rematch against current President Joe Biden.
The result was a setback for former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, who finished second despite investing significant time and financial resources in a state famous for its independent streak. Haley is the last major challenger after Florida Governor Ron DeSantis ended his presidential bid over the weekend, leaving her campaign as the sole alternative to Trump.
Well, I want to thank everybody. This is a fantastic state. This is a great, great state. You know, we won New Hampshire 3 times now, three. We win it every time. We win the primary, we win the generals, we've won it, and it's a very, very special place to me. It's very important. We've won almost every single poll in the last 3 months against crooked Joe Biden, almost every poll. And she doesn't win those polls. And she doesn't win this. This is not your typical victory speech, but let's not have somebody take a victory when she had a very bad night. She had a very bad night.
Let's take a look at the opposition. Former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley failed to secure votes in New Hampshire, but claimed that her 2024 campaign is still full steam ahead.
Yeah, the former UN ambassador apparent at her elections night party Tuesday and thanked New Hampshire for the love, kindness, and also support.
She said, however, that the GOP race is far from over. Haley's loss represents a significant defeat for anti-Trump forces that still exist within the Republican Party.
Congratulate Donald Trump on his victory tonight. He earned it, and I want to acknowledge that. Now, you've all heard the chatter among the political class. They're falling all over themselves, saying this race is over. It's not over! Well, I have news for all of them. New Hampshire is first in the nation. It is not the last in the nation. This race is far from over. There are dozens of states left to go. And the next one is my sweet state of South Carolina. At one point in this campaign, there were 14 of us running, and we were at 2% in the polls. Well, I'm a fighter.
The former President Donald Trump has swept the victory in the second contest of the Republican primary process in the United States. VOS Chris Casqueo is live on the ground in Manchester, New Hampshire.
Yes, all the way live from the United States. Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Hi.
Hi, so you're live from New Hampshire. What do we know about the final results and Trump's easy win, apparently, in New Hampshire?
Well, let me give you some of the latest numbers. 91% of the vote is in, and Trump is leading Nikki Haley 54.5% to 43.2%, so more than 11 percentage point lead. Now, this solidifies Trump's standing as the leading candidate for the nomination, and the Republican Party has really become the party of Trump. It seems like voters don't want any other options besides the former president, and he really did well with voters without college degrees and those who saw immigration and the economy as the top issues in the primary. Now, this is not a surprise because Trump spent a lot of money on ads hammering Nikki Haley on immigration. I saw so many of these ads myself. Now, history is on Trump's side. No candidate has won the first two nominating contests, Iowa and New Hampshire, without going on to win their party's nomination for president. So Trump is in good shape, but Nikki Haley still vows to fight on.
Added speaking, as we know that political analysts have called New Hampshire the last stand for Nikki Haley for the competitions. So the only alternative left to Trump in the Republican Party, but she lost. So just give us the updates. What she do now?
Well, as you saw in her comments at her rally last night here in New Hampshire, a lot of people are calling for her to step down from the race so that the Republican Party can focus on defeating current President Joe Biden and winning the White House. And they are saying that because New Hampshire has a much more moderate electorate than some of the upcoming primary states. Now, 322,000 voters here in New Hampshire, but they were able to vote in the Republican primary, and she got a majority of that support. But she still wasn't able to overcome Donald Trump in a state that's moderate. So many analysts think that she should step out of the race because the next states, including her home state, are tougher goes for her because she is polling behind Donald Trump by as much as 30% in her own home state. Senator Tim Scott, whom Nikki Haley appointed to his seat, several years ago has thrown his support behind Donald Trump, as has Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who dropped out of the New Hampshire primary and the Republican race over the weekend. So the calls are just going to grow louder and stronger for her to step down. And so Donald Trump and Joe Biden can take on each other in a rematch of 2020.
Well, what fun would it be when the former president gets an easy run, right, Chris? But we certainly are looking forward to more updates because this looks like it is heating up. And we, of course, want to know if former president will get a run again in November with the current president, Joe Biden. So, Chris Casquejo, thank you so much for your update. And we're looking forward to more because this is going to be a constant rollout. And we want to keep ourselves as well updated because whatever happens in the United States is going to affect the entire world. And we want to make sure we get the updates as soon as possible. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
Now, from one election hassle to the next, let's pull you back to Indonesia and take a look at the updates regarding the upcoming Indonesian general elections happening on Valentine's Day. A couple of days left on Indonesian Votes 2024. Well, let's take a look at the very first story. President Joko Widodo has called on candidates not to use public facilities for their campaigns and always comply with the rules.
His remarks came earlier today during a press briefing in Jakarta, where the president was questioned about ministers running campaign.
Hak demokrasi, hak politik setiap orang, setiap menteri sama saja. Yang paling penting, presiden itu boleh loh kampanye. Presiden itu boleh loh memihak. Boleh. Tapi yang paling penting waktu kampanye tidak boleh menggunakan fasilitas negara. Boleh, Pak. Kita ini kan pejabat publik sekaligus pejabat politik. Saat ini nggak boleh berpolitik, nggak boleh. Menteri juga boleh. Gimana? Itu saja. Yang mengatur itu hanya tidak boleh menggunakan fasilitas negara. Udah sih aja.
Kemudian kalau misalnya ada rekomendasi yang harus mundur, Pak.
Gimana? Ya saya mau tanya.
Pak, kalau ada rekomendasi para menteri yang nanti berkampanye itu sebelumnya mundur, bagaimana Pak?
Apanya?
Kalau
ada banyak rekomendasi agar menteri-menteri yang berkampanye
semua itu pegangannya aturan. Aturan, kalau aturannya boleh ya silahkan. Kalau aturannya nggak boleh, tidak. Udah jelas itu.
Terima kasih Bapak.
Jangan di ini loh, apa? Presiden tidak boleh ini, boleh berkampanye itu boleh.
Terima kasih Bapak.
Ya juga boleh.
Terima kasih Pak. Terima kasih teman-teman.
Dilakukan atau tidak dilakukan itu terserah individu masing-masing.
Terima kasih Pak.
Yeah, presidential candidates and their running mates are intensifying their interactions with the public to promote their respective programs.
The pledges to ensure the stability of essential commodity prices and empower globally competent students are prominently featured to secure votes.
Vice presidential candidate Muhaimin Iskandar heard complaints from women at Bogor's Ciharang market about surging food prices. He pledged to maintain stable commodity price if elected.
Yeah, Muhaimin held a dialogue with leaders in West Bogor in his previous rally, where he committed to establish a new autonomous region and addressed a long-standing proposal for expansion.
Strategi saya dengan Mas Anies nanti salah satu yang paling pokok adalah pemerintah memfasilitasi petani berproduksi sebanyak-banyaknya. Harga kita jaga dan pemerintah menjamin harganya ditanggung oleh pemerintah.
And during a separate event, Vice Presidential candidate Gibran Rakabuming Raka expressed the belief that Muslim students or santri inherently possess skills in reciting the Quran and exhibit good morals. Santris are, however, expected to go beyond these qualities by mastering the Sharia economy, Sharia banking, and cybersecurity.
Jadi harapannya ke depan itu santri-santri benar-benar bisa menghadapi tantangan zaman dan benar-benar bisa memenuhi kebutuhan industri. Jadi generasi berakhlak baik, tapi juga benar-benar nanti bisa menjadi bagian untuk menuju Indonesia emas.
Elsewhere, presidential candidate Ganjar Pranowo, who was in Kendal, Central Java, addressed his conversation with running mate Mahfud MD regarding the latter's decision to step down from his ministerial position.
This followed Mahfud's plan to resign from the comment announced during an event in Semarang.
Itulah yang sejak awal kita bicara, apakah seorang yang sekarang menjabat di dalam jabatan publik, apalagi selevel menteri, itu mundur atau tidak. Gubernur, bupati, wali kota mundur atau tidak. Semua di jabatan publik. Ketika keputusannya tidak dan diperbolehkan, maka ada potensi konflik of interest. Kami berdiskusi juga dengan Pak Mahfud pada soal ini. Itu ada potensinya loh, gitu. Kita mesti hati-hati. Mampu nggak kita menjaga diri kita untuk bisa netral dan tidak menggunakan fasilitas, itu aja. Nah, dengan beberapa kejadian, orang menggunakan fasilitas, menggunakan alat transportasi, alasannya kunjungan kerja, tapi di sana kampanye, kan rakyat bisa melihat itu. Maka kita sedang mengambil risiko itu. Maka saya sarankan, mundurlah, rubahlah aturan, gitu. Termasuk Pak Mahfud. Termasuk Pak Mahfud. Jadi kita udah diskusi dengan Pak beliau pada soal ini. Agar fair, lebih baik mundurlah. Kalau aturannya mau dibuat, lebih bagus. Pasti rakyat akan lebih senang.
From Indonesia, votes, let's get our lenses back to focus to the Middle East. In the recent months, we've seen escalation and conflicts, not just in Israel and Gaza, but in the surrounding areas as well. And hence, the United Nations chief has warned Israel on Tuesday that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's rejection of a two-state solution could indefinitely prolong the conflict, threaten global peace, and empower extremists worldwide.
Yeah, Netanyahu's refusal to a Palestinian state in any post-war scenario has opened a wide rift of its closest ally, the United States, which advocates for negotiation leading to a two-state solution where both nations can live side by side in peace.
Secretary General Antonio Guterres, in his sternest language yet on the war in Gaza, emphasized the importance of recognizing the Palestinian people's right to establish their own fully independent state. He firmly said that any party's refusal must be absolutely rejected.
Rapid, safe, unhindered, expanded and sustained humanitarian access throughout Gaza. And I repeat my call for an end to all violations of international humanitarian law. The use of human shields is unacceptable, as are the unprecedented levels of devastation and civilian killings. I am also deeply troubled by reports of Israel's inhumane treatment of Palestinians detained during military operations. Excellencies, I renew my appeal for an immediate humanitarian ceasefire. This will ensure sufficient aid gets to where it is needed, facilitate the release of hostages, and help lower the tensions around the Middle East.
And that wraps up our first segment in this hour. When we come back after a short break, we'll again have the latest from Southeast Asia and around the world.
And later during the hour, I'll again bring you the latest from the world of business.
Yeah, so keep right here on the 3-Hour News Show only on See Today.
Their existence is now being critically endangered.
Dia memiliki ekor yang sangat panjang, lebih panjang, jauh lebih panjang daripada badannya sendiri.
Tekniknya dia keluar dia itu bergelombol, menggunakan punggung temannya untuk naik.
Sebenarnya konservasi burung hantu di sini latar belakangnya jelas asas manfaat. Jadi kita pengen melestarikan burung, melestarikan satwa, tapi juga otomatis dampaknya ke masyarakat yang khususnya sekarang kalau di sini kan petani.
Rakyat harus dilibatkan, rakyat tidak boleh ditinggal karena pemilik negeri ini rakyat. Pemerintah hanyalah pelaksana dari pemilik negeri ini.
Tingkatkan produktivitas pertanian dan sektor maritim, tapi wajib menjaga keseimbangan alam.
Kami berjanji bahwa kami akan kembalikan secara bertahap hak rakyat dan untuk ibu-ibu dan para anak cucu.
Welcome back to Spotlight, ladies and gentlemen, where we bring you guys some of the sports that you guys can go play here in Indonesia.
Handball karena masih baru, tadi kita harus bisa juga mempopulerkan ini kepada masyarakat sampai ke bawah.
We do it from scratch at the time because we don't know ice hockey, how to play, how to develop, how to manage this sport.
You don't have to be good with your foot. You can just dribble the ball and just throw it to the full ball.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Bahkan brosurnya aja Pak, saya udah pelan-pelanin jalan. Ditegur, Mas cepetan gitu. Ini bisa baca perilaku kamu. Sekarang kita mau baca tarot nggak? Iya.
Oh iya, Sa.
Mana tangan kamu?
Keren banget. Mau, Om.
The beauty and the excitement of being there, indescribable to lose such an iconic, historical, and magnificent.
Let's take a look around, shall we? Come on in. We found them.
Well, people come and go. A cup of tea, a perfect way to end your day. Come see the beauty, only on See Indonesia.
Good morning, Indonesia, Southeast Asia, and the world. Rise and shine, everyone. A brand new start to a brand new month and a brand new week.
Good morning. Good morning. It's a deja vu. Good.
It's like deja vu. It's like with sports, entertainment as well.
It is time for Steve Today with Business with me, Caroline.
All right, guys. See Indonesia, see the world, see you today.
Welcome back to the Sphere News Show on See Today. Now it's time to look at some regional news as Vietnam's Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh has met his Romanian counterpart Marcel Ciolacu in Bucharest, Romania earlier on Monday.
Yeah, the meeting, which also marked the 75th anniversaries of Romania-Vietnam bilateral relations, and saw both leaders agree to promote and strengthen bilateral cooperation.
Following Pham Ching's visit to Hungary after attending the 54th World Economic Forum, the Prime Minister paid an official visit to Romania, concluding his working trip to Europe. During his visit to Romania to commemorate the 75th anniversary of bilateral relations between the two countries, Pham Ching met with his Romanian counterpart, Prime Minister Marcel Ciolacu. During their meeting, the two leaders agreed to strengthen cooperation in all fields, especially on trade in energy, agriculture, and pharmaceuticals. Moreover, Pham Ching, who previously studied in Romania, also emphasized education and training, especially cooperation between research and universities in engineering, technology, agriculture, and healthcare. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Ciolacu, for his part, said that his country is ready to facilitate infrastructure to promote trade cooperation between the two countries. Prime Minister Ciolacu said that he aims to double trade exchange between the two countries to €1 billion. Prime Minister Ciolacu also suggested that Romania could be a trade hub for Vietnamese products. Previously, during the Romanian presidency of the European Council, Romania played an active role in the signing of the EU-Vietnam Free Trade Agreement and was the first EU country to approve the EU-Vietnam Investment Protection Agreement. Prime Minister Ching suggested to his Romanian counterpart to support Vietnam's bid to be removed from the European Commission's yellow card list for Vietnamese seafood exports. Finally, during the meeting, the two leaders also discussed various regional and international issues, including the South China Sea, and reaffirmed their commitment to peaceful resolution on dispute and agreed to use ASEAN and the EU to jointly address regional and global challenges.
Back to Indonesia, right?
Back to Indonesia, where Indonesian President Joko Widodo attended handover ceremony earlier today, where Defense Minister Prabowo Subianto transferred a C-130J-30 Super Hercules to Air Chief of Staff Marshal Fajar Prasetyo.
The aircraft is the fourth of 5 Super Hercules ordered by the Defense Ministry for the Air Force.
I'm standing in front of the C-130J-30 Super Hercules aircraft along with two helicopters, the first one being 550 Fennec and the second one is 565 Panther. So on Wednesday morning, the official handover ceremony of this one aircraft and two helicopters took place in here at Halim, East Jakarta.
Indonesian Defense Minister Prabowo Subianto officially transferred a C-130J-30 Super Hercules aircraft to Air Chief of Staff Marshal Fajar Prasetyo, with President Joko Widodo attending the ceremony with traditional procession. The tactical transport aircraft has a capacity for 120 personnel and can carry up to 20 tons. This Super Hercules is the fourth of 5 aircraft ordered by the Defense Ministry to reinforce the Air Force recently arriving in Indonesia.
Sangat bagus untuk negara sebesar Indonesia, negara kepulauan yang kadang-kadang airportnya hanya memiliki runway yang pendek. Nah, ini bisa didarati oleh Super Hercules ini dan bisa terbang kira-kira 11 jam non-stop.
Kalau dua heli yang lainnya kan baru diperbaiki tuh Pak dari
Ya, bagus. Kira ya semuanya harus disiapkan karena untuk mendukung frigat kita, bisa turun di frigat kita. Saya kira heli-heli seperti Fennec itu sangat penting. Yeah.
In addition to the aircraft handover, President Widodo also oversaw the newly refurbished 550 Fennec and 565 Panther helicopters. The helicopters handover ceremony involves Minister Subianto, Army Chief of Staff General Maruli Simanjuntak, and Navy Chief of Staff Admiral Muhammad Ali. President Widodo was accompanied by Armed Forces Commander General Agus Subianto and House of Representatives Commission 1 Chair Mutia Hafid. Andira Putri and Reza Aninita for C Today.
Now, staying in Indonesia, dozens of women have stormed the PT Chandra Asri Pacific Office Paper Factory in Gunung Sugi Subdistrict Cilegon, Banten on Wednesday morning.
Yeah, they protested a strong odor emanating from gas leak that has been polluting the air for the past couple of days.
These women were protesting while throwing mineral water bottle at the factory as they felt upset after entering with stench from the gas leak, causing them to experience nausea and headache.
Gunung Sugi baru kali ini.
Kenapa Bu?
Ada terjadinya ledakan kimia di Chandra Asri. Ya sosialisasi masuk ke masyarakatnya, ada dispensasi ke masyarakatnya. Pokoknya terbaik lah buat masyarakat yang terdekat di sini seperti apa. Dari pihak Chandra Asri kita mohonkan dari masyarakat seperti itu. Semua pihak Gunung Sugi atau di wilayah sekitarnya. Kerja juga bukan orang sini, bukan masyarakat sini. Hanya sekian persen saja dari pihak Gunung Sugi. Tolong itu dari pihak Chandra Asri.
The alleged gas leak has caused around 360 locals to suffer from nausea and vomiting, with 3 of them have to receive intensive medical care at the hospital. In the meantime, following the incident, PT Chandra Asri management decided to suspend the operational activities while waiting on the lab result regarding the gas leak. On Monday, a team from Environment and Forestry Ministry inspected the incident site to investigate alleged gas leaking from the factory's chimney pipe.
Tadi kita memverifikasi bagaimana perusahaan melakukan penanggulangan terkait dengan kebocoran tersebut seperti itu. Dan di lapangan kita melihat sudah dilakukan perbaikan ya dan penutupan dari pipa yang bocor tersebut.
Meanwhile, Cilegon and Bans have examined 17 witnesses, with 10 of them were locals, while the other 7 were factory workers. C Today contributor reporting from Banten.
Now, speaking of the environment, let's take a look at Yayasan Planet Urgensi Indonesia, an organization working to preserve the environment, invited locals in Pandeglang, Banten to plant tens of thousands of mangrove seedlings to protect the nearby coastline.
Yeah, meanwhile, in Riau province, a tapir was found trapped in a well water following a recent flooding that destroyed its habitat and region.
A tapir was reportedly trapped in well water in Parana village, Indragiri, Hulu Regency, Riau, following a recent flooding that destroyed its habitat and the region. Officials say the animal had been trapped for 12 hours, but it was finally saved after rescue workers used a static rope. Despite having difficulties during the rescue, tapir is now free after rescue workers help it release back to the wild.
Kondisi tapir cukup sehat dan menunjukkan tanda-tanda agresif yang memang itu alami. Ketika keluar, kita menggiringnya masuk ke semak-semak atau ke belukar yang terdekat sampai tapir itu kita giring hingga tidak kelihatan lagi.
Meanwhile, in Pandeglang, Banten, Yayasan Planet Urgensi Indonesia, an organization working to preserve the environment, invited local residents to plant tens of thousands mangrove seedlings to protect the nearby coastlines. Previously, in 2018, hundreds of people died after a massive tsunami wave struck multiple coastline regions, including Banten province. The mangrove tree planting program plays a crucial role in reducing the abrasion that mostly caused by waves and tsunami.
Di Desa Ciseket ini kami melakukan penanaman tahun 2022 sekitar 60.000. Ini kalau tanamannya sudah berumur hampir 1 tahun dan survival rate-nya sekitar 68%. Fungsi mangrove itu bagi masyarakat terutama selain dia juga melindungi area pesisir dari tsunami dan abrasi, dia juga merupakan tempat hidup bagi hewan-hewan laut seperti bayi-bayi ikan, bayi-bayi udang, yang juga yang lainnya. Sehingga fungsinya bukan hanya proteksi masyarakat, dan juga penting bagi penghidupan masyarakat lokal. Dari sisi global, mangrove ini sangat penting bagi perubahan iklim.
The organization will continue planting 116,000 mangrove seedlings near the coastlines. See Today contributor reporting from Banten and Riau.
We're going for another break.
And after the break, Maria again will deliver some economic and business update. Maria,
Yes.
what do you have for the
again.
second hour?
Yes, first of all, I want to ask you guys, do you think our country's investment target has been met last year? Since there's so much different industries to invest in.
Yeah.
Curiosity. Yes, but yes or no?
I think based on the data that I delivered like a couple days ago, I think, yeah, we met the
I sure
targets.
hope so.
Yeah.
Yes, so your guess is right because the Indonesian Ministry of Investment has announced on Monday that the country has managed to attract up to 1,419 trillion rupiah.
Wow.
It has exceeded both the president's target and the ministry's target itself.
Wow, that's a good news.
That indeed. That and more to come after the break. So stay here only on Tri Show on See Today.
Asian flavors is gaining more popularity around the world in the last decade. Personally love this, not just because it is familiar for our palate, but because the airiness, the textures of the youtiao, it's completely different when baguette. So with those appetite and with those pleasure-driven people, Menteng is a very...
Rakyat harus dilibatkan, rakyat tidak boleh ditinggal karena pemilik negeri ini rakyat. Pemerintah hanyalah pelaksana dari pemilik negeri ini.
Tingkatkan produktivitas pertanian dan sektor maritim, tapi wajib menjaga keseimbangan alam.
Kami berjanji bahwa kami akan kembalikan secara bertahap hak rakyat dan untuk ibu-ibu dan para anak cucu.
The beauty and the excitement of being there
indescribable to lose such an iconic, historical, and magnificent.
Let's take a look around, shall we? Come on in. We found them.
Where people come and go. A cup of tea, a perfect way to end your day. Come see the beauty, only on See Indonesia.
Bahkan brosurnya aja Pak, saya udah pelan-pelanin jalan, ditegur, Mas cepetan gitu. Ini bisa baca perilaku kamu sekarang, kita mau baca tarot nggak? Iya.
Oh iya, Sir.
Mana tangan kamu?
Keren banget, mau Om.
Hey there, buddies. Welcome back to another episode of Buddy Talk.
Enggak. Dia hostnya, kita co-hostnya.
It's better to be overdressed than underdressed. That's actually a good hack, because I used to live in Canada. That was our trick. Point to Manado on this map. I'm horrible. I told you I'm bad.
Dikira dengan banyaknya informasi itu kan jadi makin gampang gitu nulisnya.
Iya.
Tapi ternyata susah banget.
About you that makes me indulge in the company of your own kind.
Their existence is now being critically endangered.
Dia memiliki ekor yang sangat panjang, jauh lebih panjang daripada badannya sendiri.
Tekniknya dia bergelombol menggunakan punggung temannya untuk naik.
Sebenarnya konservasi burung hantu di sini latar belakangnya jelas asas manfaat. Jadi kita pengen melestarikan burung, melestarikan satwa, tapi juga otomatis dampaknya ke masyarakat yang khususnya sekarang kalau di sini kan petani.
Welcome back to Triarni Show on See Today. It's time for me again to deliver to you some business updates from Indonesia and beyond. So the Indonesian Minister of Investments announced on Wednesday that the country has managed to attract up to 1,419 trillion rupiah worth of investments in 2023. This has exceeded both the President's investment target and also the Investment Minister's target for the year.
Investment in Indonesia saw a substantial increase in 2023, signaling the positive performance of Indonesia's economy for the year. Last year, Indonesia gained 1,419 trillion rupiah worth of investment for the whole year. This exceeded President Joko Widodo's target of 1,400 trillion rupiah and also exceeded the Investment Ministry's target. In fact, investment in Indonesia last year was 7.5% higher than it was in 2022.
Nah, alhamdulillah Januari sampai Desember sebesar 1.418,9 triliun, tumbuh 17,5%. Capaian kita 101,3% dari target 1.400 triliun. Alhamdulillah. Total penyerapan tenaga kerja dari investasi 1.418 triliun sebesar 1.823.543 orang. Ini total lapangan pekerjaan. Ini lapangan pekerjaan langsung, investasi ini di luar sektor hulu migas, di luar sektor keuangan, dan di luar UMKM.
Yeah.
The Indonesian government has been pushing the development of its downstreaming industry in a bid to increase the value of its natural resources. And in 2023, investment into downstreaming industry reached 375.4 trillion rupiah, marking a substantial 26.5% of the total investment incurred over the year. Most of the investment went into mineral smelters, specifically nickel smelters, which attracted up to 136.6 trillion rupiah. This is an important part of Indonesia's push to become a global leader in electric vehicle battery production. Despite recent controversies surrounding EVs in Indonesia, which do not use nickel-based batteries, Minister of Investment Bahlil Lahadalia argued that nickel-based EV batteries are still a major part of the industry.
Apakah benar nikel ini akan ditinggalkan? Ini adalah kebohongan publik. Kenapa saya katakan demikian? Karena LFP itu hanya dipakai oleh Tesla kepada mobilnya yang standar. Karena kualitas jarak tempuhnya itu masih lebih bagus ke nikel.
Furthermore, in 2023, up to 9.7 trillion rupiah was invested in Indonesia's electric vehicle ecosystem.
Now, next story from Indonesia. It's about the Tourism and Creative Economy Minister Sandiaga Uno that recently launched an empowerment program for MSMEs in East Nusa Tenggara called TikTok Jalin Nusantara Program. The initiative was part of a joint effort with TikTok Indonesia, Telkom, Center for Women's Resources and Development, and social business platforms. Minister Uno called on TikTok Indonesia to boost network coverage for MSMEs in rural areas during the launching ceremony that took place on Tuesday in Labuan Bajo, East Nusa Tenggara. The newly launched program includes digital skill courses set to take place across 19 areas, including 10 centers of creative industries such as Samosir, Pekanbaru, Tangerang, Semarang, Yogyakarta, Malang, Banyuwangi, Balikpapan, Labuan Bajo, and Jayapura.
Juta UMKM ini tersebar di seluruh wilayah Nusantara. 60% ada di Pulau Jawa, tapi selebihnya ada di seluruh pelosok Nusantara. Mereka yang menciptakan 97% lapangan kerja. Semuanya harus masuk ke dalam target dari 30 juta UMKM yang terdigitalisasi dalam program Bangga Buatan Indonesia bersama TikTok yang baru saja bertransformasi juga menjadi bagian daripada TikTok Tokopedia. Ini kita harapkan kita cepat transformasi ini sehingga target 50% dari UMKM kita masuk ke dalam ekonomi digital, di dalam pendekatan transformasi digitalisasi kita di segala sisi, terutama di bidang ekonomi.
That's certainly a good news. More and more resources for equality in remote areas. And that also has wrapped up the economics and business updates for this hour. When we return, Aditya Warman will again bring you the latest from the world of sports.
Ke Binjai mau migrasi.
Cakep.
Anjay, aku depot sih.
Ya aku cuma mau bilang hari ini kamu tuh cantik loh. Aduh ya Allah.
Oke lah kalau penampilan dia nggak sebaik itu, nggak sebagus itu, nggak seganteng itu, tapi tuh hatinya dia sebaik itu dan tidak ada orang yang pernah gue temuin hatinya sebaik Mars.
Pemain.
Good morning, Indonesia, Southeast Asia, and the world. Rise and shine, everyone. A brand new start to a brand new month and a brand new week. Here at
Good morning. Good morning. It's a deja vu. Good.
It's like deja vu. It's like with sports, entertainment as well.
It is time for Steve Today with Business with me, Caroline. All right, guys. See Indonesia, see the world, see today.
And south of the city has united to assist displaced children in a refugee camp in Rafah in overcoming the trauma of war. The volunteers come from diverse professional backgrounds and share expertise in working with young people.
The beauty and the excitement of being there.
Indescribable to lose such an iconic, historical, and magnificent.
Let's take a look around, shall we? Come on in. We found them.
Where people come and go.
A cup of tea, a perfect way to end your day. Come see the beauty only on See Indonesia.
Rakyat harus dilibatkan, rakyat tidak boleh ditinggal karena pemilik negeri ini rakyat. Pemerintah hanyalah pelaksana dari pemilik negeri ini.
Tingkatkan produktivitas pertanian dan sektor maritim, tapi wajib menjaga keseimbangan alam.
Kami berjanji bahwa kami akan kembalikan secara bertahap hak rakyat dan untuk ibu-ibu dan para anak cucu.
Welcome back to Spotlight, ladies and gentlemen, where we bring you guys some of the sports that you guys can go play here in Indonesia.
Handball karena masih baru tadi kita harus bisa juga mempopulerkan ini kepada masyarakat sampai ke bawah.
We do it from scratch at the time because we don't know ice hockey, how to play, how to develop, how to manage this sport.
You don't have to be good with your foot. Like you can just dribble the ball and just throw it to the full ball.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome back to 3-Hour News Show, and this segment is for you to update from the world of sport. My name is Aditya Warman. I'm so excited because we about to witnessing the contrary game between Indonesia will face the Japan that I delivered before. This is the ultimate game on the Group D encounters. It is a fully aware game that a victory could potentially secure the A place of the knockout stages of the Asian Cup 2023. Yes, we know that Indonesia will take on Japan in their final Group D match, knowing a win could give them a spot in the knocking out stages of the Asian Cup 2023. So Shin Tae-yong's team are now on verge of qualification after a 1-0 win against Vietnam in the previous match. So four-time champions Japan suffered a setback when they lost 2-1 to Iraq and now need to win to guarantee their spot in the next stage. So the match is scheduled like a couple minutes at Jakarta time, which is the 6:30 p.m. Indonesia are up against Japan for a place in the knockout round of the 2023 Asian Cup, and the match is currently underway, and many here in the Indonesian capital have gathered to watch the match together. So our news team, Adin Fatoni and Oswald Nenggolang, are among the crowd. So Adin Fatoni, I know the excitement we feel in our studio, and we hope almost of Indonesian hope that Indonesia will give a very good result to face Japan. Tell us more about that, Adin.
So good evening, Aditya Warman and everybody who are watching right now. Calling out to all the Indonesian supporters out there who are watching now. Please give your best support to our Indonesian national football team, because as of now we are behind. Japan has scored a goal around 10th minutes of the first half through a penalty, which are allowed by the VAR system. And the 10th minute, Indonesia was conceded by a penalty after Jordi Amat, the defender of Indonesia, tackled the attacker of Japan, and the 10th minute Japan scored a goal, and now Indonesia are behind, and I and other supporters out here in GBK Arena, Asia Africa Street, South Jakarta, now are all laser focused to wait for Indonesia to bounce back and to at least first score a goal to tie the score to 1-2. And now it is already on the 23rd minute of the first half, and Indonesia, it seems, and as now we are watching Indonesia, the Japan keep on pressuring Indonesia defense to give pressure to the Indonesian defense to try to score another goal. So there are scenarios. Yes, Indonesia first of all must win to attain a definite position in the round of 16 as the runner-up of Group D, but there are also other scenarios. Yes, if Indonesia win, there is a definite position for Indonesia as the runner-up of Group D. And there's two other scenarios. The second scenario is that if Indonesia and Japan end up in draw, so then we have to wait for the result of Oman and Bahrain, which will have their last match of the group stage tomorrow, where first Oman will face in the Group E and Group F of the AFC Cup, to then if then Indonesia end up draw. With Japan, we have to wait for the result of Oman and Bahrain. Then, if Indonesia in this match lose against Japan, now the fate of the Indonesian national football team to advance to this round of 16 lies in the hand of Kyrgyzstan to hold Oman from winning. So the information that we get is that if the result in Bahrain in Group E and Oman in Group F, if Bahrain and Oman is winning, then even though we are drawing against, even though we draw against Japan, we are definitely, or Indonesia definitely are knocked out from the AFC Cup 2023. So the other scenarios, yes, the last one, if Indonesia lost, then the fate of our team lies in Kyrgyzstan to hold Oman from the winning. Now, the face-to-face from Indonesia national football team against the Japanese football team. There are a lot of sectors that we need to, or that are very, very apparent in this game. Yes, Pratama Arhan has delivered the ultimate, or his classic thrown out or far throw in from there is one chance that Indonesia have already gained in the first half after being conceded. Pratama Arhan has delivered a far away throw in to at least give a chance to Indonesia. And now we are waiting for the final score and the game to be unfolded. So for now, Aditya Warman, I'm going to go back and watch Indonesia versus Japan. Back to the studio.
7 minutes in the running game in the first quarter between Indonesia versus Japan, and I feeling Adin over there, it's a bit exhausting in there, but actually so excited there. But I just really want to know, you are now in GBK Arena, right? So I just really want to inform for those who are in the area, is there any possibility if we could go there and watch together? And if yes, if key information updated now, do you see any like other government official who watching together there, Adin?
So yes, GBK Arena is now holding the to watch the Indonesian and Japan AFC match 2023. This is an open place for everyone to come here and to watch and to support Indonesia in this penultimate game or match in the Group D to secure our place in the round of 16. Now this is the GBK Arena. Now this place or this event is arranged by the Indonesian Football Association. Yes, and there is Zainuddin Amali, the vice president of Indonesian Football Association, was a minute ago has just arrived to watch and to give his support to the Indonesian national football team, although he's now in Indonesia, and to give indirect support to the Indonesian football team right here in GBK Arena. Aditya Warman.
All right, thank you so much, Adin Fatoni and Oswald Nainggolan, for your live report. And for those who really want to watch together between Japan versus Indonesia, don't forget, in GBK Arena, if you are in the Central or South Jakarta, just go to GBK Arena and watch and support our national team to beat Japan, inshallah. So that's wrap for sport for now, but when we return, we will have more information, including our special signature segment, See the Stories. So keep here only on 3-Hour News Show on See Today.
Rakyat harus dilibatkan, rakyat tidak boleh ditinggal karena pemilik negeri ini rakyat. Pemerintah hanyalah pelaksana dari pemilik negeri ini.
Tingkatkan produktivitas pertanian dan sektor maritim, tapi wajib menjaga keseimbangan alam.
Kami berjanji bahwa kami akan kembalikan secara bertahap hak rakyat dan untuk ibu-ibu dan para anak cucu.
Their existence is now being critically endangered.
Dia memiliki ekor yang sangat panjang, lebih panjang, jauh lebih panjang daripada badannya sendiri.
Tekniknya dia keluar dia itu bergelombol menggunakan punggung temannya untuk naik.
Sebenarnya konservasi burung hantu di sini latar belakangnya jelas asas manfaat. Jadi kita pengen melestarikan burung, melestarikan satwa, tapi juga otomatis dampaknya ke masyarakat yang khususnya sekarang kalau di sini kan petani.
Hey there, buddies! Welcome back to another episode of Buddy Talk.
Enggak, dia hostnya, kita co-hostnya.
It's better to be overdressed than underdressed. That's actually a good hack, because I used to live in Canada. That was our trick.
Point to Manado on this map. I'm horrible. I told you I'm bad.
Dikira dengan banyaknya informasi itu kan jadi makin gampang gitu nulis.
Iya.
Tapi ternyata susah banget.
Welcome back to Spotlight, ladies and gentlemen, where we bring you guys some of the sports that you guys can go play here in Indonesia.
Handball karena masih baru, tadi kita harus bisa juga mempopulerkan ini kepada masyarakat sampai ke bawah.
We do it from scratch at the time because we don't know ice hockey, how to play, how to develop, how to manage this sport.
You don't have to be good with your foot. You can just dribble the ball and just throw it to the full ball.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Bahkan brosurnya aja Pak, saya udah pelan-pelanin jalan. Ditegur, Mas cepetan gitu. Dia bisa baca perilaku kamu. Sekalian itu mau baca tarot nggak? Iya.
Oh iya, Sa.
Sama mana tangan kamu?
Keren banget. Mau, Om.
The beauty and the excitement of being there.
Indescribable to lose such an iconic, historical, and magnificent.
Let's take a look around, shall we? Come on in. We found them.
Well, people come and go. A cup of tea, a perfect way to end your day. Come see the beauty, only on See Indonesia.
Their existence is now being critically endangered.
Dia memiliki ekor yang sangat panjang, lebih panjang, jauh lebih panjang daripada badannya sendiri.
Tekniknya dia keluar dia itu bergelombol menggunakan punggung temannya untuk naik.
Sebenarnya konservasi burung hantu di sini latar belakangnya jelas asas manfaat. Jadi kita pengen melestarikan burung, melestarikan satwa, tapi juga otomatis dampaknya ke masyarakat yang khususnya sekarang kalau di sini kan petani.
Southeast Asia and the world. Rise and shine, everyone. A brand new start to a brand new month and a brand new week.
Good morning. Good morning. It's like deja vu. Good.
It's like deja vu. It's like with sports, entertainment as well.
It is time for See Today with Business with me, Caroline. All right, guys. See Indonesia, see the world, see today.
Rakyat harus dilibatkan, rakyat tidak boleh ditinggal karena pemilik negeri ini rakyat. Pemerintah hanyalah pelaksana dari pemilik negeri ini.
Tingkatkan produktivitas pertanian dan sektor maritim, tapi wajib menjaga keseimbangan alam.
Kami berjanji bahwa kami akan kembalikan secara bertahap hak rakyat dan untuk ibu-ibu dan para anak cucu.
Berangkat aja dulu, kerjakan apa yang ada di depan kalian. Setidaknya kalian hari ini walaupun tidak mendapatkan uang, tapi kalian mendapatkan kesempatan.
Walaupun di awal-awal itu banyak sekali rintangan dan tantangan.
Kalian berproses aja dulu, jalan aja dulu. Kalau udah waktunya kalian untuk dapetin uang akan datang nyamperin kalian. Hal yang paling sangat utama untuk mengawali bisnis, ridho dan restu orang tua. Itu hal dan modal paling besar dalam mengawali usaha.
Asian flavors is gaining more popularity around the world in the last decade. Personally love this, not just because it is familiar for our palate, but because the airiness, the textures of the youtiao, it's completely different when baguette. So with those appetite and with those pleasure-driven people, Menteng is a very special place for restaurant.
Welcome back to the 3 Hour News Show on See Today. Now, for the next hour, it's finally time for See the Stories, our signature and special segment. You're still with me, Kai Surya.
And my name is Aditya Warman. For the latest updates, you can also follow us on Instagram, X, and YouTube at See Today News. And also with us,
I'm Maria Harvanti, but before anything else, let's see what's making headlines today. Indonesian President Joko Widodo said that political figures and public officials are allowed to hold campaigns so long as they don't use state facilities and abide by the rules.
Indonesian Tourism and Creative Economy Minister Sandiaga Uno recently launched the empowerment program for MSMEs in East Nusa Tenggara called TikTok Jalin Nusantara Program.
Indonesia will face, and running now, Japan and decisive third match of Group D at the 2023 Asian Cup.
And in just a moment, I know Adit is taking some notes. And See the Stories, we'll talk about men's fashion trends in 2024 with fashion scholar Dino Augusto. Stay tuned in just a moment right here. Welcome back to the 3 Hour News Show right here on See Today. It is time for our signature segment, See the Stories. Now, with January coming to an end in just a week, can you believe time flies so quickly? Do you still feel the New Year vibe? New Year, new me vibe?
I think, yeah. I mean, like, that's a lot of plan. I mean, the resolutions last year, I have to take a note. And I
have you achieved it? Your resolution last year?
Yeah, like 4 out of 5.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Good on you.
And the last thing first is actually Australia. So, yeah.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Congrats
on that.
It is.
I did.
Yeah, but actually, we're talking about New Year 5 and everything. Like for you, if you're a corporate worker, get ready to spend some of your money on fashion, as tomorrow is a payday.
Yeah, amen. Amen.
And now we have a fashion scholar, educator, and consultant, Dino Augusto, joining us to discuss men's fashion trends in 2024. Good evening, Dino. Hi, Dino.
How are you guys?
We're doing great.
Hi, Dino. Great to see you again, Dino.
Hi. Yeah, great to see you too again, Maria. How are you? How are you guys?
Yeah, we're doing
great. Yeah, we're doing
Excited
great.
to review you.
But before we digging up more about the fashion in 2024, I just really want to know, like, fashion scholars, what does it mean? I mean, do you study fashion and you educate other people or what?
Correct. I teach as a lecturer in a fashion school, in a fashion business school.
Right.
And also have been, I think, quite about 7 to 8 years having a deep research in consumer psychology and consumer responses for fashion, and also work and also talks and conferences all about fashion.
Wow, fashion is so complicated now.
Yeah. I mean, it's indeed a credible source right here we're talking to, right?
Yeah.
So, Dino, straight away, how would you describe the overall theme or mood for men's fashion in 2024?
Okay, I think carrying over from 2023, which we are majority are relaxed in a lot of streetwears, people are like wearing flares, but now this year it's a little bit tighter. It's getting back to formal. So this year, the 2024, you got to remember that this year it's going to be a corporate and business core. So if you can recall out of 2010, 2012, we remember that the majority of people are like wearing formals and wearing suits. But this year is a little bit more relaxed and utilitarian. So you kind of like recalling the 2010 kind of era.
You know what? It reminds me of one term that's been so much discussed about. It's the quiet luxury term.
I like the concept.
Quiet luxury concept. So it applies. I think, you know what? You mentioning that, I like that look on women too, you know?
Yeah.
I might just apply that to myself this year.
I just
because people,
keep going, you know.
Yeah, because people are from after the pandemic, people wanted to be different, but they're not putting a lot of effort. So they're start on recalling the vintage and then archives. It really goes with the trend of Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen's with the rose.
Love.
So that's like
Yeah.
this year.
Love like that.
It's like this year directions.
All right, so talking about fashion in 2023, like, have you seen we wearing, it's a violet, right?
Violet. We're wearing
Violet.
Yeah.
violet, like purple.
So I just really want to know from your perspective, is there any specific colors that dominating the men's fashion for this year compared to last year?
Yeah, a lot of design. Not a lot of new colors because now we're getting back to business core, which you can remember. If you can recall, like the people working in Silicon Valley and then the people that working in Wall Street, but going down to fashion. So the color will be timeless. So black on black will be in again, made a comeback on 2024.
Yay! Hooray to that! I am so excited to hear that. What else? What else? What else?
Everybody loves
black on black. Okay, but for men particularly, looking up to the runway of Louis V and then Prada and then Ralph Simmons, the green, all shades of green, becoming the accent.
The emerald green.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Like also the
so
sage
black
green.
on black and a little bit of correct. Sage green, so give a little bit of relaxed, touches. But then black on black, giving the power of business core. So it's pretty much what you see in the next year. Most likely.
I think black on black really emphasized the quiet luxury concept too.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Yes.
correct,
And
correct.
aside of colors, what are the fashion pieces and styles that are make a comeback in this year?
For men.
For men.
Okay, so this is very, I think, very obvious that the code is LLG because this year is a medium leather goods. So next year, last year was medium leather goods, so people are like starting to get growing on the sides. You can remember Jacquemus start with like very small leather goods during the pandemic, and then now we're out to medium. This year will be LLG, which is large leather goods.
Ooh,
so you
I
bring
like
along
that.
your bag. Yeah, you bring all of your stuff within because you seems like you're a super successful. I don't know, maybe a super successful.
Like
with
that's
one with one bag, correct. And then number two for men, I think you need to reduce a little bit of loafers for this year because this year heeled boots and high boots will make a comeback very hard.
Is it including Chelsea boots?
Sort of, yeah.
Sure,
but
yeah.
I think in particular, it's heeled. I think heeled boots and very formal boots because this year is business core, so it's like movements, dynamic, but very sleek. If you can remember, like Dolce and Gabbana on like 2010, 2012, it's like very sleek. The hair also becoming more.
Pay attention,
I did pay attention.
I'm
Tune in a little bit.
taking note now.
No, this is for me. I don't know why. I'm loving this 2024 trend you're mentioning, and I'm toning it down as one for myself. I've been wearing a lot of boots this year, and I'm enjoying it.
Oh yeah, you're wearing boots now.
I'm wearing boots right now.
Yeah, correct.
So, do you know?
It looks fabulous on you.
Oh, thank you. So, in terms of silhouettes and cuts, though, what are the defining shapes for men's clothing in 2024? If you're talking about, business core. The silhouettes in terms of, I don't know, like a sweater and the shirts inside, that fall, autumn-y look, even in the summer and spring. Can you mention a few that are very notable?
Yeah. Very notable that this is becoming a year of sleek. So
I love that.
Streetwears and like over layering, it's a little bit out of this year. So you're pretty sleek. That's why black on black. Rather be preferred rather than you combine a lot of colors because this year was like very very military and like a lot of colors. But this year is very strong. For silhouettes, still relaxed, but it's a little bit over length. So if you want to wear a sleek shirt, then it's a little bit over over the silhouettes. And then if you tucked in your shirt, it's a French tuck. So you tuck one-sided and then the other is like out. And then also for the pants, skinny jeans is pretty much taking off the streets and taking
You know what?
It's
This
skinny jeans. Even
this
for
sounds like
women,
me. I
yeah.
love this. I love this.
They're not comfortable even for women. Skinny jeans, right? No.
Okay, more, please, Dino.
Yeah, and tailored pants. So if
yeah.
you're
I love
wearing
tailored
if you're
pants.
wearing like linens and then cottons, of course, a great quality on tailored pants. And it matches along with the boots. And then now if you want to wear jeans, sure, but it's needed to be flared over length. And then boot cut is made to come back. Boot cut and bell bottom, especially for ladies.
Love it.
But men's are now like getting into too. Like you combine between the shirts and then the bell bottom. It's like Hello Indonesia. It's like chut bra, right? But this is like boot cut and very strong on like flares.
Yeah.
I love flares.
I like it.
I feel like you're describing my favorite items.
Yeah.
This year. I think this is going to be my year this year.
It works for us women too. The style, we love it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like if you're talking about 2024, I just really want to know how has sustainability influenced men's fashion trends, and are there any notable eco-friendly or ethical practices gaining popularity this year?
Yeah, I think you sort of like prove out of your skill of thrifting this year, because archives are made to come back. You know, like vintage items are made to come back. If you want to wear something from out of like 20 years ago or like 30 years ago, it's very important for you to look like you have like this piece for like a very collectible items, because sustainability is reducing consumerism at the top. So I think the best advice for men is now picking again what you have in your like 10 years ago collection, or even your dad's collection, even your grandpa's collection. It's made to come back very strong.
Okay.
So a little bit like rough or like worn items are really strong, because business people are movable. You know, they're like super dynamic. So worn items, it looks fabulous now. Like in fashion, you don't wear something new all the time, and something new and from the fast fashion doesn't look fashion this year.
You mentioned Mary-Kate Olsen. I actually saw an article recently that they brought back the worn out Birkin, right? I mean, can you imagine a Birkin that's worn out, and they make it look so cool?
Yeah.
I think it's what you mentioned. It's the leather work, the big leather work. LLG. Okay, that's a big note for me.
LLG for the year.
Yeah.
So, Dino.
You actually bring it. You actually bring it not very like formal, because you bring it like that. You bring it like you grab it, and then you feel like you have the attitude.
That's a new one. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like you're wearing with attitude.
Nice.
Wow, it's like an accessory, but the bag too.
Yep.
Wow.
What about the gym bag? I mean, I don't know. I don't have any like big bag like that, but I have a gym bag.
Invest.
Yeah.
Invest.
I mean,
you need one, invest.
I mean, extra bag is fine.
You can have your gym bag.
Thanks, Dino. Let's go to pay now.
Invest.
Dino, so can you name fashion designers and fashion houses that are making a substantial impact on the men's fashion this year?
Yeah.
Okay, we have a spark from last year, but definitely Loewe from JW Anderson.
I love Loewe.
I love that.
Made a really strong,
very subtle.
made a really strong, subtle, but then it's still masculine. You still feel the masculinity, although he's actually giving the message of gender is not on the table anymore. So you kind of like, I can wear this for ladies, but also this is also masculine for men. It's very strong from JW Anderson. And then Head Maynor, utilitarian. So you kind of like wearing they introduced the fish, the fish vest. So a lot of pockets, yes, and a lot of pockets in your pants. Head Maynor made a really strong options if you don't want to look business core, but you sort of like getting a little bit of the accessories. But I think what we introduced now with the business core, which is very strong, is Gucci and definitely Miu Miu Men. Made a debut this season. Miu Miu now touching the men's, and it's right in the middle, right on the spot, making a message of gender is not on the table anymore.
Gender,
That's
and that's
awesome.
why.
Yes.
Because women can look just as nice in tailored suits and just as feminine, and men just as masculine.
Yeah.
Gender is off the table. It's just how you wear
Boundaryless,
it, right? Yeah, it's how you want to feel wearing that.
Yeah.
But I just really want to know that actually fashion is representing your personality, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
But sometimes, like the new fashion style, it's not representing my personality. Do you think that I'm outdated of fashion, or do you think that I have to looking for something that representing me more, or what do you think?
Yeah, I would say every style could definitely make a comeback in any year, but then you can definitely have like the big guidelines of the silhouettes. Let's say you are not wearing tights anymore, you're not wearing this and that anymore, you're not wearing let's say worn jeans anymore. It's fine, but then it still needed to match not only your style, but I think the most important is your silhouette.
No.
Yes.
And then your size.
Yes.
That's the key.
That's
You know,
really
your
important.
size
right?
and
Yeah.
your silhouette.
Yeah.
Correct. What is flattering for you?
Yeah.
It's definitely for you. You know exactly what's what's the
Yeah.
sizes that matches you. But a little bit like, okay, this is how I wear my bag now. Oh, it's fine to wear worn bags. I love worn bags. By the way, I always buy second hands, and it looks really good because I have personality. You know, that's like the message of every year. You just a new clothing, a new clothing all the time. But then, oh, you look fresh, and you translate whatever in the runways into your style, into your silhouettes, and especially you're the one that knew that exactly what kind of cuttings that made you flattering. You know, I can't really style you because I never in your body, and you're never styled me because I never went in your body. So that's like
Like refreshing
ideas,
refreshing my memory, if I'm not mistaken, if you're talking about 2023, small male bag, it's a trend. You know what I mean? Like, like a lot of my friends are having a square, small Louis Vuitton bag.
Or Loewe.
Or Loewe, and some of my friends also looking for her bag by Hermes.
Yeah.
I mean, like, for me, it's not representing my personality. I mean, excuse my language, but it's too good.
You are not a bag person.
I'm not a bag person, actually. I'm using gym bag. I can put everything inside, like my shoes, my computers, and everything. So
So
have you tried leather gym bag?
Well, I will.
Have you
tried leather duffel bags? You don't have to.
Let's see, I will text you like which bag I would buy.
No, seriously, help this boy out, Dino.
Help me, Dino.
I mean, there's got to be better options than taking and surviving on a gym bag, okay? He is an adult man, and he should dress that way.
I know.
But I agree with Adit because not every man looks good with small bags.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with a gym bag.
Some men look good without bags even.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, definitely.
But please just avoid
just
carrying
stop wearing
gym
that.
bags to work, okay? Professional is professional.
Ditch the gym bag for once.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes, like
Maybe I need to trigger you with when you pick a bag. It doesn't mean like it's really neat, like a new shape. No.
Yeah.
Sometimes you go for leather goods. You go with the quality. You touch the skin. And then you touch the stitching, and then you start to like the zipper, and then you start to like the duffel. You know, when you bring that, and then it flares, and you have to fall in love with whatever you wear. By the way, that's always been my advice.
The smell of leather.
You know what? I think we just figured out what to give Adit for his birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, yes.
Oh, thank God. Is it Louis Vuitton or Louis Vuitton?
You go keep wishing. Go save up money. All right, so Dino, perhaps last question. Any suggestions for our viewers to get inspiration for their fashion in 2024? It's not necessarily New Year, New Me, but New Year, Better Me is this year's motto, right?
Okay. Yeah, I think for men, I think what Adi just said. Men, there is intention of conservative men's, and there is like more indie. you have different subcultures. But I think the guidelines is never about, okay, you wear this color or that color. No, but again, the guidelines is the silhouette, and then the way you wear it, the attitude of wearing it, and also the styling, which one is actually out of the game and which one is going to be in the game for the next round. Because in the game, you're going to see it definitely in television, in Netflix. You will see it in the film. But the thing that made the guidelines, majority are coming from GQ and definitely from Vogue. I think you can definitely research and just Google runway report.
Runway report. Okay. Runway report.
Yes. Men 2024 runway reports. You can wear your, so the suit is still in, and then you wear shorts now. It's definitely starting from April, May, June, July. You will see a lot of celebrities are wearing big suits, but shorts.
Wow.
Now it's more relaxed. And then subtle color. This year, more like subtle color. If everyone wearing that, like the men are wearing that, and then suddenly you're still wearing orange plus pink and then plus yellow. It's totally fine, but then it seems like, okay, it seems like out of the game all of this stuff.
Right.
But definitely it's maybe your style,
Yep.
you need more colors, sure. But then that's like pretty much the guideline. So GQ and Vogue runway report will be the baseline.
All right.
I love that. Dino, thank you so much for this
You're
input.
most welcome.
We are taking lots and lots of notes. I'm also taking lots of notes.
I'm personally taking a lot of notes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dino.
And I think us wifeys are taking lots of notes of what to get rid of and what to keep in our husband's wardrobe for this year. So thank you so much for the input, Dino, and we're gonna see you next time to more fashion insights from Dino. And now we're going for a short break. See the stories will continue in just a little bit, and we'll talk about Indonesian male fashion designers. Stay tuned right here.
Asian flavors is gaining more popularity around the world in the last decade. Personally love this, not just because it is familiar for our palate, but because the airiness, the textures of the youtiao, it's completely different than baguette. So with those appetites and with those pleasure-driven people, Menteng is a very restaurant.
Welcome back to Spotlight, ladies and gentlemen, where we bring you guys some of the sports that you guys can go play here in Indonesia.
Handball karena masih baru, tadi kita harus bisa juga mempopulerkan ini kepada masyarakat sampai ke bawah.
We do it from scratch at the time because we don't know ice hockey, how to play, how to develop, how to manage this sport.
You don't have to be good with your foot. You can just dribble the ball and just throw it to the full ball.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
The beauty and the excitement of being there.
Indescribable to lose such an iconic, historical, and magnificent.
Let's take a look around, shall we? Come on in. We found them.
Where people come and go. A cup of tea, a perfect way to end your day. Come to the beauty, only on Si Indonesia.
Bahkan brosurnya aja Pak, saya udah pelan-pelanin jalan. Ditegur, Mas cepetan gitu. Dia bisa baca perilaku kamu. Sekalian kita mau baca tarot nggak? Iya.
Oh iya, Sir.
Sama mana tangan kamu?
Keren banget, mau Om.
Rakyat harus dilibatkan. Rakyat tidak boleh ditinggal karena pemilik negeri ini rakyat. Pemerintah hanyalah pelaksana dari pemilik negeri ini.
Tingkatkan produktivitas pertanian dan sektor maritim, tapi wajib menjaga keseimbangan alam. Kami berjanji bahwa kami akan kembalikan secara bertahap hak rakyat dan untuk ibu-ibu dan para anak cucu.
Welcome back to See the Stories, the signature segment of 3 Hour News Show.
Yep.
We're still talking about fashion. Now, Christina Aguilera wore a dress made by Indonesian designer Yogi Pratama at a New Year's Eve performance at the Voltaire Belle de Nuit in Las Vegas.
Oh, I love that French.
My queen. She's an idol I grew up with.
Oh, yeah.
Yogi Pratama posted some pictures of Christina Aguilera wearing his creation on his Instagram account. And Aguilera wore an H-line sequined dress with glittery chains paired with black gloves and matching thigh-high boots. Pratama said that on the caption that he was grateful that his design was worn by the international superstar. Who doesn't love Christina Aguilera?
Yeah.
I do love her.
Super talented.
I loved her when
I mean, she's petite,
yeah,
but her voice.
Yeah.
What?
Like, yeah.
Speaking of big voices, there's also another big voice, Lizzo, who was recently spotted at the Los Angeles premiere of The Renaissance, a film by Beyonce, my absolute favorite documentary. She was wearing a dress created by Hari Salim, which is part of the White Lie Spring Summer Show 2024 or SS24 collection. Let's take a look.
The Renaissance movie remained largely mysterious until its premiere on November 24th. However, details started to emerge just hours before the screening. To prepare for the star-studded event, guests were given the dress code Cozy Opulence. This led Lizzo to don an elegant white silk dress paired with a long, stylish white outerwear, creating a stunning and comfortable look.
Yeah, Hari Salim showcased his creation, which was inspired by suggestions from Lizzo's fashion stylist, Reginald Reisman, and fashion designer Matthew Reisman. This sparked a trend with the various international artists such as Dua Lipa, Cardi B, Lil Kim, and Jared Leto also embracing Hari Salim's collection. The popularities of his collections is on the rise as it continues to gain recognitions among a list of celebrities.
Putting Indonesia on the map, I love that.
Yes.
And I love that we're also much more than our heritage, our batik heritages.
Yep.
That we Indonesians wear so well, but it also really does symbolize that we're ready to take over the world.
Look at that.
All facets of fashion.
Yes.
Look at that.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And it also says about the inclusivity that we work with all shapes, body sizes, they're all beautiful.
It complements her silhouette.
Yes.
Yes. And another top Indonesian designer spread wings on the international fashion industry is Didit Hedi Prasetyo.
So this is Didit Hedi Prasetyo. He's actually the son of Prabowo Subianto, right?
Yep.
So Didit Prasetyo rose to fame after his collections was showcased in 2010 Paris Couture Fashion Week. He's one of the few fashion designers listed on the official Paris Fashion Week calendar. At the time, he released his designs twice a year during the spring, summer, and fall winter, with each having 20 or 40 clothes.
Wow. He attended both the Parsons School of Design in New York and Paris. He received the Silver Thimble Award and holds a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Fashion Design with a passion for structured draperies and intricate embellishments.
Yeah, he also becomes the first Asian designer and the second designer after Karl Lagerfeld to design the interiors and exteriors of BMW individuals 7 Series limited editions, of which only 5 were made. Oh my God, can you imagine that?
Wow, yeah, very limited edition.
Very
Oh my
limited
God, I
edition.
can totally imagine that.
Who are the lucky ones?
I mean, like, if you're talking about Indonesian talent, it's
Yeah.
it's
We
everywhere.
have the talent pool.
Yeah, right?
It's countless.
everywhere.
Yeah, I like that word. And one of my favorite designers actually wears, coming from my favorite televisions, favorite movies, which is Hunger Games.
Ah,
Oh, yeah.
I think I know what you're
Saverio.
talking about.
Yeah,
Right.
and now let's take a look for another Indonesian designer that we mentioned before,
There he is.
Tex Saverio.
He's known for his avant-garde and dramatic creations and gained international recognition for his work in the fashion industry. He's particularly famed for his intricate and elaborate designs, often featuring couture, craftsmanship, and theatrical elements.
One of the notable moments in his career was when one of his designs, a stunning white gown, was worn by Jennifer Lawrence in the film Catching Fire, which is part of the Hunger Games.
Yay!
Yes. This helped launch him to international recognition. Wait, this is the one that was set on fire, that could set itself on fire,
It
right?
can burn, yes.
It can burn? Yeah, wow.
That
yeah,
one.
wow.
It's awesome.
Look at that.
That's the one.
Yeah, I love it. Ooh, that's a crazy gown. All right, still the story will continue after the break. We're gonna play a game after this.
Oh no, I love games.
Yeah, you're very competitive.
Both of you are very competitive.
All right.
Rakyat harus dilibatkan, rakyat tidak boleh ditinggal karena pemilik negeri ini rakyat. Pemerintah hanyalah pelaksana dari pemilik negeri ini.
Tingkatkan produktivitas pertanian dan sektor maritim, tapi wajib menjaga keseimbangan alam.
Kami berjanji bahwa kami akan kembalikan secara bertahap hak rakyat dan untuk ibu-ibu dan para anak cucu.
Good morning, Indonesia, Southeast Asia, and the world. Rise and shine, everyone. A brand new start to a brand new month and a brand new week. Here at
Good morning. Good morning. It's a deja vu. Good.
It's like deja vu. It's like with sports, entertainment as well.
It is time for Steve today with business with me, Caroline. All right, guys. See Indonesia, see the world, see you today.
The beauty and the excitement of being there.
Indescribable to lose such an iconic, historical, and magnificent.
Let's take a look around, shall we? Come on in. We found them.
Where people come and go. A cup of tea, a perfect way to end your day. Come see the beauty, only on See Indonesia.
Group of volunteers operating in the south of the city has united to assist displaced children in a refugee camp in Rafah in overcoming the trauma of war. The volunteers come from diverse professional backgrounds and share expertise in working with young people.
Welcome back to Spotlight, ladies and gentlemen, where we bring you guys some of the sports so you guys can go play here in Indonesia.
Handball karena masih baru, tadi kita harus bisa juga mempopulerkan ini kepada masyarakat sampai ke bawah.
We do it from scratch at the time because we don't know ice hockey, how to play, how to develop, how to manage this sport.
Yeah, you don't have to be good with your foot. Like, you can just dribble the ball and just throw it to the full ball.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this atmosphere. Woo! Heading to Gili Trawangan. And this special episode, I already prepared myself for an adventure on the island, which in the top of the list to visit. And this is the travel note because life is dope.
To see the stories. Now let's play a game because we need it. It is midweek. It's hump day. We need fun. Oh, so let's play a game.
Let's play the game.
Today, we will play a game called Blind Card.
Ooh. Blind
card. I'm going to explain this because I have been victim of the producers. Like, it was a very fun game. So what we're going to do is we'll all play the game and we must name the category by letters.
Wow.
So, okay. As we can see in front of us, there are stacks of cards here with letters and hear a bell. So we're gonna all stand in line, so behind each other, and we must name the celebrity, city, and country by the letter that shows up on the card that you pick.
Celebrity, city, and country.
Yeah. No, one by one.
Oh, okay.
So each category will go for 5 rounds. So,
All right.
okay? So the players will take the cards 5 times, so each of us 5 times. Before you answer, you have to ring the bell first.
Okay.
Okay, understood?
So it's like celebrity, after that, city,
Yes.
and then country.
Yes.
Okay.
Not
In
city
one
at
letter.
once.
Not, yeah.
Huh?
In one card. I mean, like.
In one card.
Okay.
So let's say this. Example. I take one card and it's let's say the letter A. So I have to name a celebrity with the letter
Aaron
A.
Carter.
A.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Capital city.
But before I name, I have to write Aaron Carter. And then I go to the back.
And then Amsterdam.
And then the next one. No, you have to get your own card.
I see. Okay.
And we
so
have
not
to do it as,
yeah.
exactly.
Okay,
we have to do it as fast as possible. Now, the only thing that I don't understand is if we can't come up with one, can we take another card or not? No,
don't
no
think that's
other
possible.
card.
That's not
so you
possible.
have to switch because the last time they finally gave us a little bit of an easy go. So because
Okay.
it was the first time. But let's go. Oh, I
Okay.
hear laughs from the
Okay.
producers. Somebody's laughing. Oh, I'm first. Why don't we do a humpimpa?
Oh,
Humpimpa first. We have to check who's gonna get first, okay? Humpimpa alayum gambreng. Okay, I did this first. No. You can go first.
Okay. You want
All right.
to do sweet?
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. Let's go. All right, I did?
Now?
Yes. The time
Go.
starts now. We start with celebrity from around the world.
Lea Samola, the singer.
Okay.
It's C. It's Chris Martin.
Oh, not
Yay.
bad.
Not bad.
It's F. Frida Kahlo. Frida Kahlo.
Hey.
So now the capital city, right?
Oh, keep the card.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You have to keep the card. Okay. Take a new one. Still with celebrity name.
K. Katy Perry.
Not bad.
It's E. It's Inul Daratista.
Yay! From around the world. My turn. I got J. I'm gonna say John Mayer.
Yay.
Celebrity is not so bad.
W.
Which card?
Wow.
Come on. Here come the men in black.
Will Smith.
Hey.
Too nice.
Okay. It's Z. That is Zendaya.
Oh, nice one. T. Timothy Chalamet. Timothy Chalamet.
Hey. And now it's the capital city, right? Oh. W.
That's not, yeah. That's Y.
That's
That's
Y.
Y.
Sorry. Y. It's a pass.
Put the
I'll put
the
back the
back.
card.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot to tell you that by the end, whoever has the most cards wins.
Oh, okay.
Okay. It's the P.
Paul Palito.
Paul Palito.
He's a celebrity! Okay, next round is, wait, I only have 3 cards. Okay, but cities. Okay, next round cities,
Cities.
okay? We're running out of time.
Okay.
Q, Quebec. Quebec.
Oh, it's gonna be tough.
Quebec is province, though.
Yeah.
Oh, no, there's also city.
Z is a, oh.
Oh no. Oh, but I know.
Come on.
Yeah.
We had a Tanzania.
Yes, I know.
Z. City.
Yes.
Z. Pass.
Okay. I'm gonna put his Zurich.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
B, Berlin homegirl.
A. Astana.
It's F. Philadelphia.
No,
It's
that's
a
not
city.
a
Country. Sorry.
Pass.
Pass.
Come on.
Sorry. Pass.
I'm going to take F, and that's Frankfurt.
Philadelphia is in the U.S.
Still in city, right?
Yeah.
U. Ulaanbaatar.
Oh.
It's O.
Oh.
That's O.
Pass.
Orlando?
Yeah, Orlando is a city.
Orlando-
Orlando is a city.
Orlando
Oh, is it
City.
state?
It's
Is
city.
Orlando is a state or a
It's a
city?
city. Orlando City. Orlando City.
America's a little bit complicated.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
okay, fine.
Yes.
Orlando City.
H. Honduras. That's
It's
a
a country.
country.
Pass. Pass.
But I know.
Heidelberg. Heidelberg.
Helsinki.
Germany.
City. B. Boston.
Is that a city or a?
It's a city.
It's a G. It's Georgetown.
Yay!
Yay! All right, now name all the countries from around the world, starting with I. Indonesia.
Indonesia.
A. Argentina.
S. Serbia.
Why?
I know.
Why?
It's the war is happening now.
Yugoslavia.
Yes.
No,
that one.
Yugoslavia.
No, Yugoslavia doesn't exist
no,
anymore.
Yeah,
no, it's
doesn't-
not existing.
Pass.
Yemen.
Yes.
Oh, not a pass on you. Not
No
yet.
pass.
B. Venezuela.
Venezuela. Oh. Why did I get this?
What is that?
It's
Oh,
Y.
why again? Why?
Jordania.
It's a
J.
J.
But in Indonesia, it's you. Okay, pass.
Yogurt.
Yogurt.
Come on, guy. Go, go, go.
I think she's
D.
gonna win.
Denmark.
Pass.
Okay. H. Hungary.
Ethiopia.
Good.
There's so many Y's. Y's.
No more.
No more. Pass.
Can I get another one because there is no more?
No pass.
No. you already, yeah. Just one pass, guy. You still win.
I don't know.
J is Jamaica.
Why did I take this one?
Okay. Faster. J.
Maria said that.
Jordan.
Jordan, yeah.
Jamaica.
That is a Zaire or a Zimbabwe.
What is that?
S?
Spain.
Spain, yeah.
Yay!
Okay.
Let's
Okay,
count.
let's count cards.
My feeling is you're gonna win.
I don't know.
Based on
Everyone
the
was
pass.
so good. This was fun.
Maria
Okay,
first.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah.
Kai.
I got 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah.
Mine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Oh, so it's a tie for you
Tie
guys.
for me and
Yay!
There should be a tiebreaker. Or do we share the onde?
Sure.
Yeah.
We'll even share it with Maria after the break.
Aw.
Bye-bye.
So sweet of you guys.
Onde. So we're, this is basically a mung bean.
It's mung bean, yeah.
So it's mung bean paste, right?
Mhm.
Deep fried mung bean
Deep fried
paste.
mung bean.
With
And it has sesame
sesame
seeds.
seeds all over.
All right.
I mean, try.
I will, yeah.
I like it.
So this is onde, one of our traditional snacks.
Right.
It's called Kui Bom in Malaysia, Butsi in Philippines, and Ban Ran in Vietnam.
Yeah.
So are you ready?
Are you ready for what? To
I don't know.
finish the...
Are we ready to take a short break? We'll
Yeah.
be back with your daily days of entertainment. Stay tuned with us on the show while we enjoy our onde.
Yeah.
Their existence is now being critically endangered.
Dia memiliki ekor yang sangat panjang, jauh lebih panjang daripada badannya sendiri.
Tekniknya dia itu bergelombol menggunakan punggung temannya untuk naik.
Sebenarnya konservasi burung hantu di sini latar belakangnya jelas asas manfaat. Jadi kita pengen melestarikan burung, melestarikan satwa, tapi juga otomatis dampaknya ke masyarakat yang khususnya sekarang kalau di sini kan petani.
Hey there, buddies. welcome back to another episode of Buddy Talk.
Enggak, dia hostnya, kita co-hostnya. Kita co-hostnya.
It's better to be overdressed than underdressed. That's actually a good hack, because I used to live in Canada. That was our trick. Point to Manado on the smash. I'm horrible, I told you I'm bad.
Dikira dengan banyaknya informasi itu kan jadi makin gampang gitu nulis.
Iya.
Tapi ternyata susah banget.
Rakyat harus dilibatkan, rakyat tidak boleh ditinggal karena pemilik negeri ini rakyat. Pemerintah hanyalah pelaksana dari pemilik negeri ini.
Tingkatkan produktivitas pertanian dan sektor maritim, tapi wajib menjaga keseimbangan alam. Kami berjanji bahwa kami akan kembalikan secara bertahap hak rakyat dan untuk ibu-ibu dan para anak cucu.
The beauty and the excitement of being there.
Indescribable through such an iconic, historical, and magnificent.
Let's take a look around, shall we? Come on in. We found them.
Where people come and go. A cup of tea, a perfect way to end your day. Come see the beauty, only on See Indonesia.
A group of volunteers operating in the south of the city has united to assist displaced children in a refugee camp in Rafah in overcoming the trauma of war. The volunteers come from diverse professional backgrounds and share expertise in working with young people.
Hi, welcome back to the 3-Hour News Show, and it's time for you to update some entertainment news. And we have a list of TV shows that you can enjoy through the Maxstream app this week.
Yes, this series is now trending on the app and it's called Bandelnya Judith. Let's have a look.
Now, the story of Bandelnya Judith tells the story of Judith Olivia, a troublemaker who is constantly fortunate enough to find last-minute solutions to her problems.
Yeah, Judith has a crush on Bian as he has everything in common, especially his pastime. But there is another woman named Anggi who is also into Bian and intervenes in his relationship with Judith, putting them in a friend zone.
Will Judith and Bian stay friends or break up? Be sure to stream on Maxstream app to watch the complete story.
Hang on. I thought they were in the friend zone. So did they get together?
Yeah.
Or because there's a choice of breaking up. That means
so they were together. I'm a little bit confused here.
They were together, but somebody else coming to the relationship.
Okay.
And then the situation has happened, and
triangle.
Friend zone is there.
Oh.
Wow.
And well, you can
check. Yeah, you can check the
Maxstream. Don't forget to download Maxstream app. And also we have another movie, KKN Desa Penari, became a hit in 2022 last year, not 2 years ago. It turns out that the movie has a spin-off prequel that was released just yesterday. The movie is called Bandar Wuhi. Badara Wuhi. Thank you so much.
Badara
Wuhi. Yeah.
So on Tuesday, the film's producer Manoj Punjabi released the movie poster. It shows half of Aulia Sara's face as Badara Wuhi, surrounded by snakes in a pool of a cave.
Ooh.
Aside from Aulia Sara, the movie features Maudi Efrosina, Jordi Pranata, Aming, Dinda Kanya Dewi, and many more. Directed by Kimo Stambul, this film will be released on Eid al-Fitri this year. They had me dress up as Badara Wuhi and
So Badara
in the
Wuhi
1st of January 2023.
So she's the dancer, right?
Yeah, she's the dancer.
character
She's the
for
main
dancer.
ghost.
Yes, main ghost.
She's the main ghost. So this is the story on how Badara Wuhi became a ghost, this evil ghost, I think.
Wow.
All right.
Interesting.
You know it because you're a dancer.
I'm interested to watch. Although I do have to say that dancing movie has promoted a lot of Javanese dancing, and I cannot wait to start Javanese dancing tomorrow. Yay!
Safe trips, yeah, to Solo.
Yeah, totally.
So from the streaming series and movies, we're going to go to something else. If you're in need to let out stress amid the hectic political campaign season,
I do.
we have a funny movie we want to recommend you.
Yeah, the movie Agak Lain, or Slightly Different, is English, stars a number of comedians who will deliver some good laughs.
Can't wait. Let's take a look.
Boleh, dilihat-lihat dulu aja, Kak.
Agak Lain is a mystery comedy film starring 4 Agak Lain podcasters. The movie stars Benedion, Indra Jegel, Boris Bokir, Ari Kriting, Indah Permatasari, Tisa Biani, and many more. The movie is produced by Ernest Prakasa and directed by Muhadli Acho, who shot the movie in a real night market. The movie aims to give some refreshment in the midst of the current political campaign.
Si pasar malam itu memang pasar malam beneran yang biasa mereka biasa berpraktek, biasa show di mana beroperasi. Mereka tutup. Yuk bawa yuk semua rombongan kalian kita cariin lahan, setup di sini, kita syuting di sini. Ini adalah sajian di tengah-tengah ribut-ribut politik. Mudah-mudahan ini bisa jadi kayak oase lah di tengah-tengah menyegarkan aja lah, dan jadi bisa bersatu lagi tawa-tawa bareng teman-teman.
Tapi ada sisipan drama.
Agak Lain tells the story of Benedion, Indra Jegel, Oki Renga, and Boris Bokir, who have been a long-time friends, each holding different dreams. Pressured by money, they open a haunted house business at a night market, which leads to a series of unfortunate events. The cast made many improvisation during the production, as many of the cast are comedians. They hope that it can give the audience a good laugh.
Main dengan orang-orang ini kan, kalau kita mau improvisasi kan ujung pukul ujung tidak ada habisnya ya. Jadi memang kadang-kadang justru yang sulit itu adalah mengerem itu semua.
Ini banyak sekali tawa yang dihasilkan di film ini. Kami harapannya kalian datang, nonton, pulang happy. Udah itu aja.
Agak Lain will be released in cinemas on February the 1st, with drama, horror, and comedy all packed into one movie. Reski Anasto for C Today.
Now, horror comedy I can watch.
Yes.
Horror alone, not so much.
Not a fan of horror either. But this one seems funny.
Yes. So there you go. Our recommendations, our news, and our entertainment news, and we wrap that up, which means that is the wrap up for today's episode of the 3 Hour News Show and See Today, the Hump Day edition. Be sure to also follow us on social media through Instagram, X, and YouTube channel at See Today News.
See Today can now be enjoyed in Australia on Foxtel's OTT platform Flash app, or in Macau Cable TV channel 84. Or if you're in Philippines, you can also watch the Converge Vision channel 58 and Singtel Singapore channel 15.
And for you, Telkomsel user, you can also watch See Today on Maxstream app. Don't forget to also tune in again tomorrow, same time, same channel. And be sure to also catch our morning show every day at 6 a.m. My name is Aditya Warman.
I'm Maria Harfanti.
And I'm Kai Soria. As always, together, we'd love to say, see you, Indonesia, see the world, see you today.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Selamat malam, saya Jati Dharma.
Saya Fitri Megantara. Dan saya Sheila Purnama. Selamat datang di debat keempat calon wakil presiden pemilu tahun 2024.
Tidak terasa kurang dari 1 bulan lagi, kita akan bersama-sama merayakan pesta demokrasi pemilu tahun 2024. Dan di debat keempat pada malam hari ini, ketiga calon wakil presiden Republik Indonesia akan beradu ide dan juga gagasan dalam tema pembangunan berkelanjutan dan lingkungan hidup, sumber daya alam dan energi, agraria, masyarakat adat, dan desa.
Kami sangat bangga menjadi bagian dari rangkaian pemilu tahun 2024. Karena lewat agenda debat malam ini, kita akan sama-sama mendengarkan visi misi dari ketiga calon wakil presiden sesuai dengan tema yang diangkat. Dengan harapan dapat membantu seluruh rakyat Indonesia untuk menentukan calon pemimpin bangsa 5 tahun ke depan.
Sebelumnya kami ingin mengucapkan selamat datang kepada yang terhormat Ketua, Anggota, dan Sekretaris Jenderal Komisi Pemilihan Umum. Tentunya tidak lupa kami ucapkan selamat datang kepada pimpinan partai politik, pimpinan kementerian lembaga, dan seluruh tamu undangan serta rekan-rekan media yang telah hadir dan meliput acara malam hari ini.
Baik, tentunya kita masih akan menantikan debat keempat ini akan berlangsung dan semua ini tentu sudah dipersiapkan. Dan ini menjadi sebuah hal yang ditunggu-tunggu tentunya bagi masyarakat, bagi kita semua. Karena dari 5 agenda debat yang diadakan oleh Komisi Pemilihan Umum, tentunya ini merupakan debat yang sebentar lagi mau selesai ya. Sudah keempat, tinggal satu lagi.
Tersisa satu adalah debat terakhir untuk cawapres yang melibatkan calon wakil presiden. Tentunya ini sangat ditunggu sekali dengan tema yang akan diangkat pada malam hari ini mengenai pembangunan berkelanjutan dan lingkungan hidup, sumber daya alam dan energi, pangan, agraria, masyarakat adat, dan desa. Tentunya sangat kita tunggu sekali bagaimana visi, misi, dan adu argumentasi dan gagasan nantinya.
Tentunya besar harapan kami agar debat malam hari ini dapat berlangsung dengan aman, nyaman, dan kondusif. Sesuai dengan beberapa pesan tentang safety briefing yang sudah kita berikan sebelumnya. Mudah-mudahan itu dapat membantu kelancaran debat malam hari ini.
Baik, Bapak, Ibu, hadirin, dan pemirsa, kita akan mengundang pasangan calon presiden dan calon wakil presiden pemilu 2024. Inilah pasangan calon presiden dan calon wakil presiden nomor urut 1, Bapak Haji Anies Rashid Baswedan PhD dan Bapak Dr. Honoris Causa Haji Abdul Muhaimin Iskandar. Baik, Bapak-Bapak, kami persilakan untuk duduk ke tempat yang telah kami sediakan.
Selanjutnya, inilah pasangan calon presiden dan calon wakil presiden nomor urut 2, Bapak Haji Prabowo Subianto dan Bapak Gibran Rakabuming Raka. Baik, Bapak-Bapak, silakan menempati tempat duduk yang sudah disediakan.
pasangan calon presiden dan wakil presiden nomor urut 3, Bapak Haji Ganjar Pranowo SHMIP dan Bapak Profesor Dr. Haji Muhammad Mahfud MD. Iya, kami persilahkan Bapak untuk menempati tempat duduk yang sudah disediakan.
Baik, untuk mengawali acara debat pada malam hari ini, kami mohon ketiga pasangan calon presiden dan wakil presiden, serta seluruh hadirin untuk berdiri dan menyanyikan lagu kebangsaan Indonesia Raya.
Indonesia, tanah airku, tanah tumpah darahku. Di sanalah aku berdiri, jadi pandu ibuku. Indonesia, kebangsaanku, bangsa dan tanah airku. Marilah kita berseru, Indonesia bersatu. Hiduplah tanahku, hiduplah negeriku, bangsaku, rakyatku semuanya. Bangunlah jiwanya, bangunlah badannya untuk Indonesia Raya. Indonesia Raya, merdeka, merdeka, tanahku, negeriku yang ku cinta. Indonesia Raya, merdeka, merdeka, hiduplah Indonesia Raya. Indonesia Raya, merdeka, merdeka, tanahku, negeriku yang ku cinta. Indonesia Raya, merdeka, merdeka, hiduplah Indonesia Raya.
Baik, Bapak, Ibu, dan hadirin sekalian, kami mohon untuk tetap berdiri dan bersama-sama menyanyikan jingle pemilu.
Tiba waktunya
Ibu sekalian, untuk membuka rangkaian debat keempat calon wakil presiden pemilu tahun 2024, mari kita dengarkan sambutan. Dilanjutkan dengan doa dari Bapak Hashim Asyari selaku Ketua Komisi Pemilihan Umum. Kami persilahkan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat malam dan salam sejahtera untuk kita sekalian. Yang saya hormati para pimpinan partai politik peserta pemilu tahun 2024. Yang kami hormati pasangan calon presiden nomor urut 1, Bapak Haji Anies Rashid Baswedan dan Bapak Haji Abdul Muhaimin Iskandar. Yang kami hormati pasangan calon presiden wakil presiden nomor urut 2, Bapak Haji Prabowo Subianto dan Bapak Gibran Rakabuming Raka. Yang kami hormati pasangan calon presiden nomor urut 3, Bapak Haji Ganjar Pranowo dan Bapak Haji Muhammad Mahfud MD. Yang kami hormati pimpinan Komisi 2 DPR RI. Yang kami hormati rekan-rekan penyelenggara pemilu, para anggota KPU beserta Sekjen KPU, Ketua dan para anggota Bawaslu, Ketua dan para anggota DKPP. Yang kami hormati Bapak Ibu panelis yang telah membantu KPU untuk menyusun daftar pertanyaan untuk debat calon wakil presiden. Bapak Ibu saudara sekalian, hadirin para pemirsa televisi yang berbahagia. Pertama-tama marilah kita memanjatkan puji syukur kepada Allah SWT, Tuhan yang Maha Kuasa yang senantiasa melimpahkan rahmat dan nikmat kepada kita sekalian, sehingga kita dapat bertemu di sini dalam silaturahim kepemiluan dalam rangka untuk menghadiri dan menyaksikan debat keempat calon wakil presiden pemilu tahun 2024. Bapak Ibu yang kami hormati, pada kesempatan nanti debat yang keempat yang akan dilaksanakan oleh para calon wakil presiden kita mengangkat tema pembangunan berkelanjutan dan lingkungan hidup, energi dan sumber daya alam, pangan, agraria, masyarakat adat dan desa. Semoga apa nanti jadi tema dalam perdebatan ini membuka wawasan kita, terutama para pemilih, untuk bisa mengetahui cara pandang, visi, misi, program kerja yang akan dikerjakan oleh masing-masing pasangan calon. Dengan iringan doa, semoga kita senantiasa diberikan kesehatan, diberikan kekuatan, diberikan kesabaran, dan juga diberikan keselamatan dalam menjalankan pemilu. Dan tentu saja semua yang kita kerjakan ini tiada lain dan tiada bukan dalam rangka untuk mencari ridho dan rahmat dari Allah SWT, Tuhan yang Maha Kuasa. Mari kita sejenak bersama-sama berdoa sesuai dengan agama dan keyakinan kita masing-masing. Berdoa mulai. Berdoa selesai. Kami ucapkan terima kasih kepada semua pihak, televisi penyelenggara, siaran debat pada kali ini dan juga para moderator yang akan memandu debat calon wakil presiden pada debat keempat kali ini. Mohon maaf sekiranya ada hal-hal yang kurang dan kurang berkenan dari kami KPU. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Bapak, Ibu, dan seluruh hadirin, pada debat keempat calon wakil presiden malam hari ini, sudah ada 11 panelis bersama kami. Dimohon kepada para panelis untuk berdiri saat namanya kami sebutkan. Profesor Dr. Insinyur Abrar Saleng SH.MH, Ahli Hukum Agraria dan Sumber Daya Alam Universitas Hasanuddin dan Dewan Pakar Perhimpunan Ahli Pertambangan Indonesia Perhapi Pusat.
Dr. Ari Sujito, Ahli Sosiologi Pedesaan, Dosen Fakultas Ilmu Sosial dan Ilmu Politik Universitas Gadjah Mada.
Profesor Dr. Arif Satria, Ahli Ekologi Politik dan Kebijakan Pengelolaan Sumber Daya Alam, Rektor Institut Pertanian Bogor.
Dewi Kartika, Sekretaris Jenderal Konsorsium Pembaruan Agraria, Ahli Agraria.
Fabi Tumiwa, Ahli Transisi Energi, Direktur Eksekutif Institute for